know where to start. Gosh, it was an eventful run if you think back to Friday and then where we are today. Because, Tom, we didn't get the chance to talk, you and I, about LT Gray. We'll get to him later.
So much has happened in the last few days.
A lot has happened in 72 hours. A lot. And where to start? Well, I'm going to start with the sadness, which is the injury to Myles Bailey. And boy, oh boy, you wish. Let's just start with the first thing and the obvious thing. You wish him well in his recovery. He underwent successful surgery. For those that did not read that update, I'm told that it went very well as it could go. The doctors were very pleased with what they found, given the circumstances. Obviously, you'd rather not be there, but he should make a full recovery, which is good news for him and his family and his future. As for this team this year, I'll state it bluntly, they are in real trouble. That is a devastating loss, and I think obviously you guys know that. It doesn't take me to tell you that. You knew it the second it happened. But there is something glaring, Tom, when you come back to the ballpark the next day and you look at the lineup. And I have some thoughts on this beyond, oh boy, their best player is no longer in the lineup, and that's going to cause a problem. Any team that loses their best player, it's going to cause a problem. But I think in particular this isn't one of those teams loaded with power like we had 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where everywhere you looked, you had a guy that could really hit for power. This team has nominal power. It was already struggling in that part of the game with Myles in the lineup. Now you're going to roll out, well, this is what they rolled out on Sunday, and I'll give you my thoughts on this. Stutzer, Paulino, Dowd, Carnes, Putnam, DeLamielleure, Fisher, McCulley, Bavaro was your lineup. That's terrible. That's going to be a problem. That's not good. I would suggest to you that they're going to have to find a way to get Gabe Frazier out there. He has upside, real upside. He's clearly in a terrible doghouse right now. He's no longer hurt. So he's not playing because something's amiss. And it seems to me that it's a doghouse of sorts from what I've been told. But he has real potential. If you look at what scouts thought about this team coming into the year, Frazier was a kid you expected to take another step. That's why they brought him in. They thought he could really play. I think you're going to have to get him out there. I don't think you can have a lineup where Kyle Fisher's playing second base, Carter McCulley's playing shortstop. This is not good. Up the middle, it's pathetic, is what it is. So they're going to have to figure something out. And now, we saw exactly what's going to happen in terms of people attacking this lineup. That kid for Duke, who wasn't any good yesterday, is just going right at them with fastballs. He doesn't have anything to fear. There's no power there. So, you'll pitch carefully to Dowd, but that's about it. You're not really too worried about anybody here from a power standpoint.
Yeah, barring some guys waking up and not just getting hot, but maybe regressing to the mean in the good way.
Yeah.
Which is Cal Fisher, who I'm speaking about.
Well, I hope, buddy, because he's currently hitting 250 whatever with no home runs.
No, and you're going to need some of those young guys to hit the trampoline for their careers and jumpstart it.
You're going to have to hope that Mendez and Beard dominate. That is really the truth. What we're talking about now is that if Florida State's going to win series, they're going to have to win playing small ball, which sucks. I hate it, but they're going to have to do it, which means you got to get Chase Williams back out there and stick him in the bottom of the lineup and try to get him fixed because he's going to have to play. He can be a terror on the base paths if he can get on the base path. So you're going to have to find a way to get him in there. I think you're going to have to find a way to get Gabe Frazier out there like now. I think that's going to have to happen. They're in trouble. They're in real trouble. What a shame. What an outright shame to have the season go off the tracks, in essence. with this devastating injury. And obviously, we wish the best for Myles Bailey. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I'm just moving forward because they have no choice. The team's going to play games, and you got to find ways to win them. You can't give up on a season, even if on the surface it looks like this would be a season to give up on. It's, to me, I think a lot of people had it in their heads as soon as they saw this. This is going to be a developmental year for quite a few of the young guys because it's a toughie. It's a brutal toughie.
I mean, short of a baseball at 95 miles an hour hitting his hand when he's in the batter's box, this is the only way as a first baseman that you can suffer a season-ending injury is sliding into a bag. I mean, it's spread like wildfire too. I was in a golf tournament on Saturday, and word passed around the area like wildfire. And then, of course, there was the incident afterwards where the person in the stands was unconscious, and so therefore
you had a tough day at Hauser.
It was a quiet evening at Hauser.
Yeah,
it got real quiet for real reasons.
Yeah, it's a reminder, man, but it's so frustrating, and yeah, you got all the thoughts popping around in your head. You're like, well, he had homered earlier, so they intentionally walk him because, of course, that's what you do when you don't have to really worry about much else in the lineup. And you can't let him beat you, so you walk him. Then why are you throwing over to first? He's not stealing second. Go to hell for that. And then he throws it into next week. And then you got your homeboy over here deking somebody at second base, which is ridiculous. Well within your rights to do it. It's nonsense, and it's what it is. And then, obviously, I mean, love Myles, but that's a terrible slide. He got caught betwixt and between, didn't know what he wanted to do, so he slid late. And because he slid late, the ankle, the leg that broke is not the leg that hit the bag. That was what he put all of his weight on his back leg when he slid. And because he slid late, he just kind of flopped, and he's huge. So at 250 pounds, when you flop down on your leg, we see what happens. It's your foot's on backwards. And it's awful to look at. You could see it instantly if you were watching, and he's a tough kid. I think he was in shock because he looked at his foot, didn't really react, kind of looked confused. Like, why is my foot pointing the wrong direction? What? You could see almost his brain processing, like, that doesn't look right. Then he kind of looked over in the dugout, looked back at his foot, and then realized, oh, and then, obviously went back and they raced out to him and did what they could do with the air cast immediately. I hate it. I hate it for him, his family. I've had a chance to talk to his dad and mother, his dad quite a bit, his mother a couple times. They're wonderful people. We wish you well, Myles. As for the Florida State baseball team, again, they're tasked with trying to win games now without their best player and really their power source. This is the guy that bridged this lineup, and now you have, you're going to have to really kind of make do. I think before the year ends, Tom, I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm looking at this lineup right now, and I'm thinking, well, this is less than ideal. But I have a feeling that Gabe Frazier is going to be your shortstop. I think Cal's going to end up over at third because I don't believe Will Bavaro is going to keep hitting. Prove me wrong, Will. I think Cal can play third. You don't want him at second or short. You probably need – Gabe Frazier has real upside. I'm not trying to knock at Carter McCulley, but I'm finding a way to get Frazier out there. Estes has to come back, and you have to hope. I mean, they have to get him back. He's hurt too, but if he comes back healthy, he's a very good defender. In fairness to Estes, I went into the season not expecting him to hit at all, but the last time we saw him, wasn't he 4 for 5 against Michigan? I think that was the last time we saw him. So he had 4 hits in a game. Maybe he'll be scrappy if he comes back and hit a little bit for you. But boy, this is it. You'll probably end up with Stutzer out and right, because Brody doesn't look right now. And this is going to be weird because I think you got to put – I just got done saying it, but I think you're going to have to find a way to get Chase back out there. So you would put Chase in left. You'd put Stutz in right.
Well, if Chase could hit it all, you could slot him at 1 and then hit Dowd 2 and build it from there. And you go speed.
You could.
But you need guys to bust out of slumps or to get hot. I mean, that's the nature of the problem now is you got to get guys to bust out of slumps, get hot, regress to the mean if that means improvement against their career numbers or what they were projected to be. And then you're just, these tests that are upcoming in ACC play, you'll know in about 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not willing to give last rites to this season yet. It seems like you might be.
Uh,
I'm not ready to do that just yet.
I said they're going to have to win a different way, not the way you'd like to. I think they're in trouble. Yeah, first glance, Tom, just looking at it, I think they're in real trouble. I mean, that was sobering yesterday when you looked at the lineup card and went, ooh, this ain't good. This is not the lineup I'd like to roll out there right about now. It actually, I think long term is going to allow you to have a bigger conversation here a little bit. I'm not. We'll see. They really were playing well, and it's a shame. But I think this could be a deeper team, and when you lose a guy like that, you don't see anything that you love, and a couple guys that you think project nicely. But there needs to be more talent here. This is not ideal, and he was the engine that could. He's the guy. He's the stud. He is what allowed the fear of his power caused so many problems. It allowed others to get pitches. It allowed people, you just now, like, so for example, if I'm worried, I'm just going to pitch around Dowd because I don't believe that, Stutzer or Carnes or Delamo Lear or Fisher, certainly, or McCauley, I don't think they can hurt me. I'm like, okay.
The odds are one or two of them are going to come around. That's the way a long season works, but you just hope they do so in concert and they don't go on isolated stretches where they heat up and they can't string these things together. But you are going to have to string things together a little bit more.
Yeah, You don't
have a guy who's getting on base at a 550, 580 clip because he's being intentionally walked 2 or 3 times a game.
I think, too, that, again, if you want to hang your hat on something, like right now you're saying, well, if, this guy starts to wake up and this other guy takes a big step and maybe some other guy does this. True. That's the right way to say it. Maybe they do. I won't say they can't. But I think the more sure thing is to know that you have a good frontline Friday night starter in Wes Mendez, and he's going to have to be a beast. Look, you just go beat people 4-2. That's how you're going to have to do it. And he could do that. It could be. And obviously, you need Beard to pitch well. He's fully capable. We've seen some devastating strikeout performances from him. If he has a great season, your 1-2 will keep you in every series. You may not, you're probably going to have to win shootouts on Sundays. Certainly, you're going to need a better version of Bryson Moore, who was not good yesterday because he couldn't throw his secondary pitches for strikes. He could only throw his fastball, which did tick at 96, and that's steadily gone up, and that's great. But when you can't throw a slider or a curveball for a strike, they all sit dead red, and that's what was pissed on for the Grand Slam. So that's what's going to happen. He's going to have to be better. I think he will. Just a tough day at the office. Couldn't get his secondary pitches located.
Well, they're also not going to be in a fog the next time that Moore takes the hill.
I agree.
There's humanity to that situation too.
Yep, without question. Yeah, that was like a funeral over there yesterday. That's tough. Frustrating. Yeah, I felt it. I thought the group Florida State text, if we could all be in on it, all of us Knowles everywhere, would have just been, a gif of somebody running and kicking our testicles because we're on a tough run right now as Knowles. I mean, sweet Jesus, man. It just seems like you can't catch a break.
Myles Bailey was the mantra.
He really was.
He was the mantra 3 months ago when we couldn't stop talking about, the obvious elephant in the room and everything that came with that. My retort was Myles Bailey. Hang on, man. Myles Bailey's going to make us smile.
Yeah, I am, Joel, because they just lost one of the major components to being 21-6. It's not hard to figure out, dude. Yes, he was, by the way. Myles Bailey was the guy, and it's a damn shame. And I will say there are other ways to win. And again, I brought that up as well. They're going to have to win differently.
Well, the law of averages, a lot of the key guys are slumping or not producing at the level that we expected, whichever you want to term it. Seasons are a long period of time.
They are.
There's a lot longer to go. A couple of them are going to turn it around, but somebody else is going to go cold. So this is the ups and downs that you were hoping would occur with the constant anchoring the middle of the lineup, and now that is gone.
I also selfishly hate it because he was in the midst of a great season, pacing for 26, 27 home runs. I mean, we were watching a guy have infrequent opportunities and making the most of those opportunities with elite power. He's mesmerizing to watch play is the other part of it. He's not only great, but he seems to do everything the right way. He's a very good defender. He's patient. He hits to all fields.
That's a critical thing, actually, that's not talked about because we look at slugging on base, ops, home runs. He's at 32 for his career right now. That's probably it. 4 to 6 months of recovery time, but he was playing a hell of a first base. He, in that category in the MLB, defensive runs saved, he saved some runs defensively for us.
He was really good. I mean, just across the board, really good. It's a damn shame. So Florida State gets housed yesterday, but does win the series, takes 2 of 3 from Duke. We always say about ACC play, just win the series. Now you're going to have to win it by hook or by crook offensively. You're going to have to put it together, small ball, butting people over, stealing bases, those kinds of things.
Running the bases properly. And then you're just going to have to get really good frontline pitching. And that could happen. I mean, you could win a lot of series just by beating people, 5-4, 4-3, close games, low scoring, good pitching games. The problem with that, though, again, and this is why you could see this thing fall off dramatically, they're not great defensively. So if you're really reliant on pitching and defense, the big part of that is the defense, man. They're not great defensively. So when I'm talking about moving people around and putting Gabe Frazier out there and, Cal over at third and maneuvering, this is kind of what my brain's looking at too, is like they got to get guys in the right spots. Well, and you got worse defensively with the injury. Just to return to that point again, first base can clean up a lot of problems. One of the guys that just left my organization in the major leagues, not a great rangy first baseman, was Pete Alonso, but he was number 1 in picking the baseball when it came to errant throws from anywhere along the infield. All of those things do add up over time. You had an anchor at first in more ways than one, and so you're going to have to figure it out. But you're going to have to figure it out. So here we go.
I'll be curious to see. I always like to follow along with the thinking and the prospects of a manager and a coach and a staff trying to put something together when they're up against it. It's less than ideal. We can certainly adjust the win total. We know that. That's just going to happen without your best player, but that's okay. They got off to such a good start to the season that they're in position to withstand some setbacks and some series losses if that happens while they figure it out, while they figure out who goes where and what the lineup should look like without Myles Bailey in it. How does he juggle it? It should go. It shouldn't go without saying, I should bring this up. They tried to play Sheffield at second in camp. They were trying to get him at second. Now, so he's played some second. If you're talking about, needing offense and can you hide guys and where can you put them?
Look, this is not a problem you want to have, but in some ways it might make it easier for Link in the sense of he had all these puzzle pieces that don't fit. You might be able to lock a couple that do fit in other places. You're not as good. I'm not saying you are.
No.
But, I mean, he's been trying to figure out his best 9 on a given day, his best 8 position players. This is going to give a lot of opportunity to those position players to lock down roles because there's a big one that I'm not talking about the batting order. I'm talking about how you arrange them on the diamond. There's another opening out there.
Going to need Hunter Carnes to start playing better defensively and hit a ton because that's in him to hit.
They need him to hit, and Link is rooting for that hard yesterday in his presser. He's like, a couple of good at-bats there? I'm like, yeah, you want them to.
Well, he needs that. I mean, he does.
Yep.
He's got to have a couple of guys that haven't been hitting begin to hit, and Carnes was a guy that we knew defensively was shaky coming into the season, but you said, all right, if he offsets it with elite offense, which he trended towards, he has a bat. We saw that last year. Then you thought, okay, well, then that's what you'll do. The problem is he hasn't hit great this year, and he's been bad defensively. Now, again, you can couple it. Like if Putnam's going to be average to below average at first, got to hit a ton. That is where you're right. The shot in the arm wasn't just that Myles was so prodigious offensively. It's that he turned into a plus defensive player at first to boot.
It was kind of funny, the plays he was making, until you realize, oh, this is routine. I'm to expect this.
Yeah. It's just what he does. Pitcher Penny Pools and Spas has something special for everybody. That's right. Pitcher Penny Pools and Spas with the largest inventory. You go check out that showroom, and I'm telling you, it's huge. Right off of Greer Road, you will walk in impressed. Cold plunge tubs, hot tubs, the giant variety that seat 8 to the more intimate that seat 2 or 3. Plus the cold plunge tubs, like I say, they'll even come out and pick up your old tub, give you some value towards your new one, haul away the old one to boot. Go check them out. Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas, huge showroom, and a partnership with our friends over at Costco as well. That's Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas.
And respond. Waiting for mortgage rates to drop could actually cost you more in the long run. When rates fall, home prices and buy. Whether you're buying your first home or upgrading your dream home, I'll guide you through every step with passion and preparation. Let's get started today, and you can do that at loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, helping Knowles everywhere find their home field advantage.
Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, gotta get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You gotta trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller, Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. It's MillerSeptic.com. Hey, Knoll fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. All right, folks, if you're looking for a good excuse to play Seminole Legacy and feel good about it, I've got one for you. We're proud to be part of the Florida Institute for Child Welfare Golf Invitational coming up April the 13th at Seminole Legacy Golf Club here in Tallahassee. It's a Monday, which, let's be honest, is a perfect day to have a meeting on the course. Check-in starts at 8:30, shotgun at 10. They'll feed you, play a great track, free drinks, there's putting challenge, awards, silent auction, the whole kit and caboodle. It actually matters. The tournament supports education and training for child welfare workers across Florida, and part of the proceeds go right here locally to the Oasis Center for Women and Girls. So you're playing golf, but you're also doing some good. It's $200 for an individual, it's $750 for a foursome, so get your team together, grab your clients, or just come out and play. We're proud to sponsor it. I'd love to see some familiar faces out there. Tom Lang and myself will be playing as well, alongside PGA pro Tom Shea and FSU Hall of Famer Jane Geddes. Come join us and have a good time for a great cause. Register at ficw.fsu.edu/golf. April the 13th, the first ever Florida Institute for Child Welfare Golf Tournament. We'll see you there.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
What do you need tires on? Your car or truck, tractor, or heavy equipment? At Nice Tire and Auto Service, we have tires for all of these needs. And we service your vehicle from air conditioning and computerized alignment to oil changes and everything else under the hood. Call Nice Tire and Auto today at 574-4100. That's 574-4100 for your scheduled maintenance. National accounts welcome at Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Troy Knoll, 13 months, huh? Good job, buddy. Good job. Also, Tony, member for 13 months, says, man, feels so bad for Myles. Going to take a heck of a coaching job by Link. So what do you two feel the ceiling is now? Yeah, no, we were just getting into, I'm sure you posted that earlier and I didn't get a chance to see it till just now. Listen, I don't have as high of expectations, obviously, as I did prior to the weekend starting. Nobody could. It's a devastating blow, and there's no good way to frame that. And I'm not in the habit of trying to pussyfoot around issues. We'll talk about what things are or they're not. Now, there is somewhere in there the gray area, which is how does the team respond? I can't know. Let's see. Does this trigger a move by the coaching staff that ends up being a spark to something that we can't see right now? You know, maybe Gabe Frazier has figured it out and he comes in here and plays really well the way they anticipated him doing so when he transferred in from Arkansas. So you get that guy and all of a sudden he plays great and they're buoyed by that, let's say. And maybe Chase begins to figure it out. His swing has been dreadful since the labrum surgery, and I thought that surgery was supposed to fix it. It's not. He's still helicoptering when he's at the plate, and it's awful to watch. But if he can get it figured out and level his swing and get on base, well, then he'd be the guy that we were excited to see come play at the start of the year. Because remember, a season ago, even with the injury, he hit over 340. So you thought, oh, well, he'll just keep progressing and do something similar and get on base and steal bases, and he'll be a terror to opposing pitchers. So maybe something like that happens. Maybe Carnes begins to hit the way that he projects to hit. Yeah, there are some things that could happen that would give you a little bit more hope than what we have sitting here today. Because as we sit here today, and when I saw that lineup posted yesterday, I went, ooh, that is not a good lineup. That's not an elite lineup. That's the better way of saying it. That's just a average ass. Don't really worry about too much if you're an opposing pitcher, and that's what Duke's opposing pitcher did, was come right at us. And Tom's right to point out that I'm sure emotionally they were struggling, and so maybe they'll be better than what they looked yesterday, and that's true. But there's not a lot that scares opposing pitchers in this lineup without that presence in the middle of it. So we need somebody to emerge, and maybe they will. Maybe they will.
Right now, they're a borderline top 8 national seed. I wonder if the selection committee, I don't care that Alford's heading it up, I wonder if the selection committee would penalize Florida State for Myles Bailey's injury if the season ended today and they would not be a super regional host site. They would probably drop down to 9 or 10. You have the schedule before you to impress and to continue to grind out 2 out of 3. Only Stanford, as of late last week, is outside of the top 100 in RPI in terms of your weekend opponents. Virginia, Georgia Tech, Miami, Pitt. I mean, these are all teams that are in the upper echelon of the RPI. So if you win a bunch of 2 out of 3s there, or the majority of them, I think the expectation, to answer Tony's question, top 16 national seed, you can still do that. If you win most of them, perhaps you're still an argument for a top 8 national seed. But I think you can be a national seed nonetheless. And I think that's reasonable even as we sit here today. Sometimes a situation like this, while it makes you a worse baseball team, it forces everybody to dial in and do a little bit more. It can go that way, but we're going to need a couple of weeks to see how it's going to go. I don't think you could call it dead right now, and I don't think you could certainly ignore it right now. We'll see how they perform on the road, at home, against some top-flight ACC opponents.
Yeah, I'm worried for them. I'll just say that. All right, so they had their first scrimmage, did Florida State football. We segued from baseball to football, and I'll get into some of the national stories as well today because we do have 3 hours, and we'll get after it. But, can I just start with this observation, Tom, that I think it'd probably be refreshing for some people to hear? Well, that mic sounded good at the presser. How about that, Tom?
Okay. I could see why, but explain to the folks why you might think that.
Well, I thought he was very grounded. I thought he was subtle. He was not over the top. There were no forced points of emphasis.
It's amazing how many fewer verbal fillers there are when you go that route.
There was no televangelist on display. It was much more just a straightforward conversation regarding where they're at through a nominal amount of practices and their very first scrimmage. If you're expecting me to glean too much from it, I have a harder time this day and age than I used to because A, we're not allowed to see it, and B, Everybody's a transfer. You got so many transfers now. You don't really know what to kind of make of a team that has this many newcomers in spots that you're counting on them, including your entire offensive line. And obviously got a couple of key components back in the secondary at safety and a couple guys at linebacker, but you really are relying on a whole bunch of new people in a lot of ways, and not being over there to see how those guys fit in the mix. You have to rely on what Tony White said about his defense, and you have to rely on Mike's assessment of the offense. Now, what I would tell you is I liked hearing that Boggs had a big play in the scrimmage, and he was a guy that we thought had ability a year ago. Really enjoyed watching him, thought, okay, he's going to be a player. They need him to take a big step and become a guy. Sounds like he's off to a great start. Had a very good week, according to Mike Norvell.
It sounded like he got banged up as well, but
He did, but it's spring, and it was not a serious thing, so they'll back him off a little bit here this week, I'm sure, and that's the way it goes. They don't need anybody getting hurt in effing spring football, so hopefully that's, they do the right thing and protect him. They will. And, it sounds an awful lot like, to me, the two quarterbacks have been average at best is what it sounds like. I'm not hearing that there's any great play coming from the quarterback. Nothing terrible. Does sound like maybe they're on equal footing. That's the impression I got from Mike.
I think that is a fair assessment because heading into spring camp, Mike tried to gerrymander things.
He was verbose in his support for the incoming player that they brought in, from Auburn. So Daniels was the guy is what he was basically telling you.
We had that segment and we debated what Mike was trying to say, but you correctly swayed me. He was trying to set the stage for Ashton Daniels to take the reins and run with it. He has an opportunity on Saturday in the scrimmage press conference to extol the virtues of his transfer quarterback and put him ahead in the race. He did not. He chose not to do that.
No, he didn't.
It's Sperry and Daniels together right now, at least in how they're messaging.
Which I think, in fairness, even if you were going to project Daniels and wanted him to be your guy, let's say, it's not surprising that the incumbent quarterback has got a leg up or is equal to the new guy who's learning the offense. I would think that would be the case. This other guy, to me, Sperry has a pretty good handle on some of the core principles of Mike's offense. He's been here. Now, I understand what it was a year ago with Gus, but there are a lot of things in terms of the verbiage that are the same. So I think understanding even the language of an offense gives you a leg up, and thus you might be ahead slightly, while another guy's figuring that part of it out as well as the actual X's and O's and execution of an offense. I'm not surprised to hear it is what I'm saying. It's not like we brought in a stud quarterback. Ashton Daniels hasn't been good in his career. Why would I think that he gets here and suddenly is an elite player? He's, he may be the guy that starts. He may end up having a good year. Hope he does. He has yet to be an elite quarterback in his career. So there was no reason. It's not like you brought in a guy that was a known commodity, a 4-year starter who'd been kicking ass somewhere. That's not what he is. So we'll see. It is worth monitoring. That's why I bring it up. It is worth monitoring because as of Scrimmage 1, it sure sounds like, and I have to preface everything with this, we are not at these practices. We did not go to this scrimmage. We are not there. That is their choice. That's fine. All I can do is try to glean something from the way he speaks about the players themselves, the results of a scrimmage, the way he describes, the way that kids are playing. It sounds an awful lot like those two are on dead even footing.
Sounds like the offensive line had a rough day too.
Mm-hmm.
And the fog of camp that scares me is what if the defensive line isn't good and yet the offensive line is struggling?
Well, but then
that's losing seasons talking in the rear view, but I get concerned about that. The thing that I will qualify it with is what's this first scrimmage always about? The defense is ahead of the offense.
Always going to be.
The defense is always ahead of
just
the
like
offense.
Pitchers are ahead of hitters early in the baseball season. So that's how that works. You're going to see a lot of strikeouts.
And it sounded most certainly like while they hit a couple of explosives in the run game, the defensive line had the better of the day in the trenches.
I will also say that it is abundantly clear Tony White did not like elements of his defensive unit a year ago. He's making it a point to point out that these kids are coachable. He's excited by the way that they're receptive to the coaching. He's clearly letting you know that they had some bad apples in his eyes a year ago.
The best part of it, Aslan put it in our company text today, our group text. He did qualify it with as of now. they are doing the right things, which I like. If you've been burned before, you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm down with that. That means that you're staying vigilant. You're not saying problem solved. This group is different. This happened to other people in the past, but we, like David Cross in the blue makeup, will be different this time. No, he's saying as of now, they're doing all the right things. There's not as much crap. People care to play for the logo. Okay, Tony. All right, I hear you. Keep it going. Stay vigilant on that stuff. But if the locker room is better, then the locker room is better. That's a start.
Yeah, it is. I don't, again, we're all careful this time of year. We get it. It's like, okay, we're talking about practices we can't see. We're taking the word of the coaches, and there are a lot of new players, so it's what it is.
What we do know is, we combine all the reports that there was a character issue on last year's team. Unfortunately, it cropped up before we even lost our first game. Remember the reports from Charlottesville when I was on the field at Friday night that they were chirping in, like, not even padded workouts. It was walkthroughs that they're yelling at Virginia's players, and that was strange. I remember hearing about that on the Smash the following Monday and going, oh, I don't like the sound of that. That's not great. And then you get the national report at a CBS later in the year that the players are making fun of Mike in the Stanford locker room after a loss. They're not mad. They're just laughing at the cliches.
Less than ideal.
Bridge those two time periods. There's a lot of losing in between. Sure, it wasn't great. So let's hope this year that they're wired a little bit better, because 2-10, that group was insane. Last year was front-runner-ish. Can we get a little bit more consistent this year?
You didn't like the makeup of that 2-10 team?
It was nuts. Well, the whisper was it didn't take but 30 football minutes for that to be a problem.
Oh, that's just hilarious. Well, that 2-10 team seemed to have some issues to them. Yeah, I'd say.
They couldn't even get their first halftime meeting right.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's brutal. I'm anxious to see what we do in the portal with basketball. It's about to start, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're in the midst of negotiations for retention right now. They are on top of it. And the Final Four serves as the coaches' convention. It's the version of, in football, now they have the dead period for all football coaches to go to their convention. Usually it's like in Texas. In basketball, if you're not playing in the Final Four, you're doing business in the Final Four.
Yeah, well, and that sucks because he was going to play, it looked like, in our golf tournament. So he's going to be a busy man. Can't play in the golf tournament.
Final Four is on Saturday. What the hell?
Roster reconstruction. He'll be up there and, all of the things. So we'll wait and see. Florida State trying to figure out what they're going to do with the players they need to bring in. Look, the bottom line is, and if you're looking at the makeup of the teams that are still playing, that's an awful lot of juniors and seniors. You want, you can sprinkle in a star freshman or two, but you got to have them loaded with some experienced grown-ass men. And that's what Florida State will look to add to a class that is really, for all of us, one that we could not have expected him to get in year one. It's a top 10 class from the prep ranks, and that's really remarkable. Good job, Luke. But now he's got to find a way to fill it and retain certain players that meet that criteria, and get some big boys in here that have played a lot of basketball, and that'll be a nice mix. I trust him right now a lot, so we're going to wait and see, and we'll start to introduce names to you as we begin to hear it.
He pulls no punches in any facet of the operation of the program. He pulls no punches.
Shannon Young. He made a move a while back to the nation's largest mortgage companies with Cross Country Mortgage, and that meant better rates for you. He's able to serve in 7 states: Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, and the Carolinas. Stronger support, faster response, all that stuff matters. It does. But I love that he's relentless and goal-oriented. He is trustworthy. He is unwavering in terms of his commitment to you and finding that loan and the best loan option for you and your family. If you want to learn more about Shannon, lots of you have. I love getting the success stories sent to me. Keep it coming. Loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com.
News now.
The Gadsden County Sheriff's Office has released new details in a death investigation. prices worldwide. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
Now, here's your Tallahassee weather report.
Hey there, I'm meteorologist Ryan Gold, and clouds are building this lunch hour with temperatures in the low 70s. We'll be climbing into the low 80s by the late afternoon, and showers can pop up starting around 2 p.m. with some thunder possible. Now, these will be hit or miss and last until around 10 p.m. with another round tomorrow. From the ABC 27 First to Know Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Ryan Gold.
Tired of calling 1-800 numbers just to get put on hold? Flush those numbers down the drain and call Terry West Plumbing and Septic Services, now offering Terry's Toilets, providing clean, reliable porta potties for any job site, special event, or backyard party. Real local people doing real work. No robots, no AI, no call centers. For all your septic services and portable restroom needs, one local call wipes away the competition. Call 850-510-8558. That's 510-8558. Or visit terrywestplumbing.com. When you call, we answer.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood. Oh, good days. So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played. Kind of like the bikes we built. Correct, yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played. But
And
they
you still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Rolling on a busy Monday, and we just touched in this first hour the Florida State stuff. I should also throw in, I'd be remiss if I did not, a hearty congratulations to Lonnie Alameda for her 1,000th win as coach here of the softball team at Florida State. It's a lot of winning. That's a whole lot of winning. She has whooped ass as a head coach in this athletic department, and I want to congratulate her on 1,000 wins. Didn't want to forget to do it. I know I don't talk much softball here. It's because I don't watch much softball, and it would be disingenuous of me to do it. I watch when they get there, Tom, and then I cheer like hell. That's what I do. I watch some.
You cherry pick a little bit here and there.
The bigger series, I do. I tune
or midweek game against Florida. And it's 7 or 8 p.m. Alabama, whatever it is.
You're right. I do. I don't completely not watch, but I'm not as locked in. I watch all of our baseball games, as it were. But I did see that she won her 1,000th, and that's great. And she's been nothing but class as well as a great coach. So, okay, is there anything on earth? I thought about this when it happened, and I smiled ear to ear. But I'm not sure anything on earth unites us as a country quite the way Duke losing in the most painful fashion imaginable does. I felt the love of a nation as that shot fell for UConn, who are not likable, and their coach is the world's worst guy, seemingly, not named O'Sullivan. But that said, it'll let you know just how much we all collectively hate Duke, because we wanted that shot to go.
Now, I find that interesting because my breaking point was hit years ago
Hurley's,
by this hashtag a-hole.
Yes, he is an all-time a-hole. He was an asshole in this. He was an
a-hole
in this.
You said the letter.
Yes,
you
he was in this game too.
You didn't say the first letter.
No,
A.
I just said S.
Like that could be the new a-hole. Is S?
Anyhow,
and so when that happened, I went, not him. Don't let him win.
No, I know.
It's like Bill Murray winning.
I just tended to look at. I really tended to look at the kid himself who hit the shot. Also,
it's just they cut to the coach's thing. I'm like, it's McCracken. It's Bigger and McCracken winning at the end.
I know. It is just remarkable to watch the way they butchered that, though. I mean, you could just feel it playing out, and you're going, this is going to happen. It could happen.
It's the J.R. Smith. Whoa, what is he doing?
What is he doing? Hey, man, you weren't supposed to miss that. That's the calm one.
To miss that free throw, man.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That stat that number one seeds were 134-0, went up 15 plus at halftime. When I saw it, I remember thinking, that's a dubious thing to post. Like you see these stats occasionally, you're like, that's interesting. Good job, CBS. Nothing like Jinx and Duke.
Yeah, well, from dubious to doobies for the hippies at Duke.
Man.
That's that. Okay.
That was something. Oh, my God. I've been watching this tournament a long time. It is, wow.
It's pure desperation at midcourt. There are two Duke players undefended, so I can understand the theory of trying to get the pass off, but, there's no backcourt coming. They have to foul you.
Nothing about it.
You know what the fear of it is? What's crazy is it's the single bonus. If they're in the double bonus, he doesn't make that pass because he knows he's shooting two. But he's so afraid of missing the front end. I think that entered the thought process, is you're afraid of missing the front end up to with under 5 seconds to go, that I'm going to play hot potato with the basketball, which is just insane.
Maybe. I don't know if you have time to think all that through. I think he saw two players flash out of the corner of his eyes and thought, oh, I just throw it to them. They're wide open. Oops. Really, I'll ask the better question here. Not what was Boozer doing, which is losing the game, or making a play that leads to losing the game, but rather, why the hell was UConn not fouling? The first thing I'm thinking of is when they inbounds the ball, nobody's fouling. What are you doing? You got to foul. You got to foul.
Precisely because you don't. Yeah, they're 1-1. So it's not like you're trying to trap and generate a steal.
You don't have enough time. You have to foul.
But the 1-on-1's a good thing. This could get you the ball back. You still have a timeout too. This could get you the ball back down one possession.
Right. And
if they're shooting two, I can understand the trap, I guess is my point.
None of it makes sense to me. It's crazy how this ends up. I mean, with 10. Okay, look. Let's break this down. With 7:59 to play, Duke led by 11. Start with that. All right.
Fair point.
They led by 9 with 5:03 to play. Less than a minute later, the deficit was 5. When it gets to 5 is when it gets hairy. That's when people start, we're choking away the game, man. That's when Duke people are kind of like, they're having a hard time. They're just kind of looking at each other like, this is kind of happening, isn't it? We're kind of going to throw this away. Like, we've all been there. We've seen our team blowing big. You and I were doing a damn live watch-along during a collapse for Florida State baseball.
Yes, we were.
That was very troubling.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was a hard night.
From there, the lead fluctuates a lot from, 5 to 4 to 3, back to 5, then back to 3 with 10 seconds to play. Duke's up 3. Repeat that. With 10 seconds to play, Duke is up 3. If I just presented the scenario to you and told you Duke is up 3 with 10 seconds to play, do they lose in regulation? There's no chance anybody says, oh, most certainly. Most certainly. So Boozer fouls the UConn guard, Silas DeMary, 2 shots. He misses the first, sinks the second. Duke, in that, inbound the ball, that's all you got to do, and get fouled and go to the free throw line. You're going to win the game. They successfully inbound the ball. So the hard part is over. They're not going to get you for 5 seconds. Inbound the ball, just get fouled. Just get fouled. Okay, they double, they don't foul, which is, I'm guarantee you not what they wanted to do. I'm sure Hurley told them to foul. It's the only way you have a chance. You have to foul, but they don't. They run over, and so he passes back. Then they pass to Boozer, who panics, and he's still not being fouled, which is crazy. Again, I'm yelling, foul! I'm screaming it, and they don't foul, and then he tries to make the pass, and the kid who hits the 3 is the one who goes and retrieves the tip, Brings it back over, passes, gets it back.
Well, and Boozer's going to get fouled if he keeps the ball because
Just hold
they're
it.
going to land into him. You could just take a seat on the court with the basketball. You'd be fine.
It's really, it's
devastating.
When it came off the kid's hands because of that camera angle, you're like, that's good. You could see, you know, how you like, woo. Unless that's long, that is going in.
You're hearing one shiny moment.
Yeah, you're like, oh my goodness. Unbelievable. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories, bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27, in your neighborhood.
You probably already know that Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas is your one-stop destination for all pool maintenance needs, offering everything you need from chemicals, cleaners, vacuums, nets, and more. But that's not all. Pinch a Penny also carries a huge selection of premium hot springs hot tubs paired with easy financing options, making these luxury hot tubs affordable for everyone. And if you have an older hot tub and you're worried about the hassle of removing it, worry no more. Pinch a Penny will not only remove and haul away your old hot tub, but also offer a trade-in value for a credit towards your new one. So why wait? Visit Pinch a Penny's 12,000 square foot showroom today on Greer Road and discover how effortless and affordable owning a fantastic hot tub can be. Find out more at TallahasseeHotSpring.com. That's TallahasseeHotSpring.com.
Barry knows cool, he's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool, you can put him to the test. Barry knows heating and air conditioning, keeping you comfortable. Here's what Barry does best.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air, online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barry knows heating and air conditioning.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon, there is one every few weeks. That's why the 7th Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials, too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, 7th Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The 7th Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
On Real Talk 93.3 in Tallahassee.
Tampa Bay Lightning hockey, they pick up a victory yesterday, defeating the Nashville Predators at 3-2. Nice game for Jake Gensel. He had a goal and 2 assists. It was Corey Perry who broke a third-period tie, giving the Lightning the win. Brandon Hagel also scoring for the team. Lightning back at tomorrow when they host Montreal. The Florida Panthers lose to the Rangers yesterday 3-1. Panthers will host Ottawa coming up tomorrow. NBA basketball, the Orlando Magic lose to the Toronto Raptors yesterday 139-87 in the loss. Desmond Bain, 17 points. Jalen Suggs had 13. Magic are going to host Phoenix coming up tomorrow. The Heat lose to the Pacers yesterday 135-118. The Heat are back at tonight as they take on Philadelphia. This Sports Flash is presented by Progressive. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo insurance and save with Progressive. I'm Matt Pauley on Real Talk 93.3.
The problem with radio is we can't show you our new box packed with a KFC snacker, 5 nuggets, fries, and a drink for just $7. So you'll just have to trust us when we say the crispy golden fried breading will make your mouth water. You'll have to trust us when we say this is a ridiculous amount of chicken for such a small price. And you'll have to really trust us when we insist that, yes, it really is only $7. $7 box feast from KFC. Trust us. It's finger-licking good.
Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tips, and fees extra.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Water is your home's worst enemy. It finds cracks, soft spots, and weaknesses. But not on our watch. At Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing, we're veteran-owned and built different, driven by detail and the pursuit of excellence. We install seamless gutters, underground drainage, and waterproofing systems that don't fail. Because when you live with discipline, water doesn't stand a chance. Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing. Visit guttersolutions.net. With us, it's personal.
Hey, Seminole fans, think you know your Garnet and Gold? Well, you can prove it every Friday morning at 7:15 with the Garnet and Gold Trivia Contest on The Greg Tish Show. From legendary plays to unforgettable players, it's fun, fast, and packed with FSU pride. One caller, one question, and major bragging rights before most people finish their first cup of coffee. So every Friday at 7:15 a.m. on The Greg Tish Show, it's the Garnet and Gold Trivia Contest where you could win swag at Garnet and Gold. Only on The Greg Tish Show.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel tip boards and soft tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Where is that coming from? Come on, Cameron. Let's go. You know, it just occurred to me. I have never
You just did the Norvell sideline thing.
Yeah, I did. I was reaching back. I'm gonna have to play hurt this hour, apparently. No, I mean I've never had hiccups on the air before that I can think of.
Boy, you are the announcer jinx. You're
I
tempting
know.
it.
Well, it just felt like I had hiccups a moment ago, and I thought to myself, well, what gives? I had a big tall glass of water here. I mean, I don't know what is going on. But that said,
you brought your own water. Smart man.
I do. I bring it. I know. You're thinking how good that water must have tasted.
Oh, man. Not for any nefarious reasons. Just
No.
I am parched. It's the
Yeah.
pollen, man. You get
Yeah,
cottonmouth just by walking.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. That said, I started to hiccup there to start the hour. I don't like it. I can't have that. That's never happened in the 27 years or so that I've been on the air. I've never had hiccups.
Boy, what would I do? What kind of fun could I have if you had the hiccups for a prolonged period of time?
It would suck.
I mean, we could break down the West Coast wildcard race for the Stanley Cup playoffs.
We could.
You guys want to hear about Nashville Predators hockey? I got you.
I did see that, we won yesterday, and I saw that Florida lost, and I just thought, okay, it's a good day.
Yeah.
It's just a good day.
Took all 4 in the back-to-back over the weekend. That'll do. We are now breathing down Buffalo's necks. We're catching them.
There we go. It's a lot of fun. Baseball over the weekend. Hey, by the way, one of the things that stood out in last hour, obviously, I addressed immediately, first segment, the Myles Bailey injury, what I think it means for Florida State. Some real problems lie in wait, I think. We're going to see how they adjust. Also talked about the scrimmage, but Major League Baseball came and went over the weekend, and it was a lot of fun. I did watch all 3 of our games, Tom.
Yeah, I'm about done with your pitching. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we really...
You got some arms now.
Probably should have won the second and third games, not just the third, but...
Majinski is
he can deal.
Impressive player.
He was just a reliever last year. We're stretching him now into being a starter. Yeah, he can deal. And he made Soto look foolish several times, and that doesn't happen.
No, the second time he threw the bat up in the air, he's like, which is the ultimate sign of respect. He's
I know.
Like, well, if you've got that.
Well, it was a slider bearing in on him over and over again.
Well, the first one was, and then the splitter is the kill shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. Anyhow, I watched a lot of baseball over the weekend, and here's what stood out more than anything else. The ABS system. And we're all going to be watching this very, very closely. I love it. It serves to humiliate umpires everywhere.
Well, what do you know? Not that you were a doubter, but
no.
Welcome to the party, pal. This is the ultimate Bruce Willis. For the love of God, folks.
Yeah, it was something. Did you see Mike?
Human element, my ass.
Yeah. By the way, Mike Trout loves the ABS challenge system. He challenged 4 pitches over the weekend. Went 4 for 4.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, look, man, I know the strike zone, and you don't. That is a ball, sir.
As a batter, that's super impressive. Salvador Perez for Kansas City had a hell of a weekend as well.
Yes.
In that regard.
Hitters have not done well with the ABS system so far. The catchers have, and so have pitchers.
Which is Perez, yeah.
Yeah. So there have been 165 total challenges, 78 by the batters who were successful 42% of the time. They were able to flip 12 strikeouts and gain 6 walks. 97 of those were by the defense, and they overturned 63% of the calls. So the catcher and the pitcher know what you've missed, Mr. Umpire. The hitters, not so much. Catchers and pitchers know. And they flipped 20 strikeouts and overturned 6 walks in those successful challenges.
Yeah, we got you guys once on one of those on Saturday.
Oh, and I knew it. I was like, it's a strike. Yeah, I knew it when he called it a ball.
Well, you got us, but your catcher wouldn't do it yesterday in the 11th.
I know.
10th, whatever it was.
So that said, I'll be watching very closely. You know who hates it? CB Buckner, who now that Angel Hernandez is no longer in baseball, as he was a forced retirement, which was wonderful. Buckner's a terrible umpire. Has been
for 25 years.
He got abused. Did you see the sequence of 3 straight?
Oh yeah, man,
buddy.
Oh yeah.
That's
who the hell he is, though.
That's gotta suck.
This is the ultimate. I'll never shut up about this. I was right about this 10 years ago. This is ridiculous, and we're finally cleaning it up.
So Red Sox, it's a 1-2 pitch. He rings him up with his over the top. Hitter goes, no, man, it's ball. Yeah, tappity tap tap. They took a look at it. Yes, indeed, it was ball. It was not a strike. 2-2, 2-2. Everybody, 2-2. Okay, Buckner's not upset at that point. Next pitch, ha! No, sir. That was a ball. Also, I'm gonna tappity tap tap.
I'm going to tap my helmet with my middle finger pointing at you.
And he did. You got it right again there, partner. It's your lucky day. 3-2. 3-2, everybody. 3-2. Next pitch. Ha! Nope. That's a walk, partner. That's a walk. Tappity tap tap. The fans were giving him it was great. It was great.
Because the fans know CB has been a travesty.
6 times.
Yeah, 6 out of 8.
6 out of 8 times. Woo!
He also missed 20-something calls. Umpire scorecards is, again, they've now integrated the ABS system into their daily
It's
scorecards.
glorious. It's
That's
glorious.
one of the great follows in social media is umpire scorecards on Twitter/X. Check it out. CB's game card from Saturday.
Well,
holy God.
And the arrogance of Buckner when he wouldn't appeal the check swing call to first base.
He's going to be out of a job real soon. And this is the thing that could have happened to Joe West. This is the thing that could have happened to Angel Hernandez.
Yeah. Well, it is happening to guys now. I actually think there's a very good chance that this will improve the umpiring in the game while they still have umpires. You're going to learn very quickly where your weak points are. You know, most guys have a blind spot of some kind. It's tough. It depends on your size, depends on, obviously your eyesight, but we all have areas that we'd consider weaker than others within our range of vision. And so I think an umpire is going to have a particular type of call that they miss more often than other, low and away, high and inside, whatever it is, right? And they're going to learn quickly because that's going to get challenged most often because they'll get the other ones right because they actually are good at their job relatively, as much as you can expect to be in a situation in which somebody's throwing a ball 98 miles per hour that moves everywhere and you might be off by a millimeter. I mean, nobody expects you to be, a computer. So those guys do a pretty good job, but they all have blind spots and they're going to get shown. You miss this all the time. I've been telling you this, Ted. You missed this one just like I told you last year, but now I can show you.
The sample set is too small right now, but at the moment, the 10 youngest umpires calling balls and strikes are markedly better than the 10 oldest.
Yes.
What do you know?
That's how it works.
What do you know? And I have to say, well done. This is in marketing. If you can be the first to sponsor something like Tracer Technology by Top Tracer, which is now sponsored by everybody, but it's Top Tracer Technology. It's the name of it in golf. The T-Mobile fuchsia pink strike when the ball is in the zone, buddy.
That's
that
smart.
Is marketing supreme.
Yeah, smart.
It's now theirs forever. Because have you seen the stripped down version when there is no challenge and it's got the crosshairs and it's just a regular ballpark? I think most broadcasts have that technology available to them. So if there isn't a challenge, it doesn't have the dressed up ABS look to it. But between the way that looks, they do the 3-2-1 countdown now. They should play that up. 3-2-1. Get the people in the stands to chant 3-2-1. Yeah, this is going to be really, really good.
The big thing is just make sure it's quick. It has to be lightning quick. That's what everybody wants. And, they did this all of last year in the minor leagues, and it only slowed the game down by less than a minute. So, okay, as long as we're not adding 15 minutes to a game because of challenges, then you'll be fine. Just make sure it's quick and accurate, and we're good to go.
And apparently sometimes in the minor leagues it went down, at which point the call is the call.
Call is the call.
So I wonder what that screen's going to look like. Is it just going to be blank and people are going to have to look around and go, what the hell?
What the hell happened here?
And if he goes, move on. But it did not break this weekend, which was good.
I would argue, too, by the way, I think there's a very good chance that this is just going to hasten what we already know to be true, which is a full-fledged ABS system full-time. That's what's going to happen. That's just the way this works. Once that technology is entered into a sport, they don't usually undo it. It usually goes to its natural conclusion. We're going to get what you think is coming next. It's almost intuitive.
The one thing that happened in our series over the weekend is that O'Neal Cruz picked a horrible pitch to challenge. He missed by a mile, and then in the same half inning, 2 other calls could have been challenged, but you could tell that your guys stopped themselves because they know that they got to keep that one remaining challenge alive for the 9th inning. To which our broadcast said, I'm sure you watch your own guys, but our guys said, you could see how this would cause a problem in the clubhouse if somebody is using the challenges up for everybody and they're not good at it. You could see how there might be a fight in the dugout.
Well, and O'Neal Cruz was told to have a seat on Saturday, and you saw Mangum make 2 brilliant plays in center field.
That dude's annoying.
Well, he can play.
Because he can play.
He can play.
He played a great left field yesterday.
Great center field the day before, making plays that O'Neal Cruz would have never made in by the way, cost, obviously, Skeens his start. I mean, both those balls are caught by Mangum, and we're gone to the second inning. We're just going on. I mean,
This dude is
God,
outfielder David Eckstein. He's annoying.
he can fly. And you're right. He doesn't hit for power, so he better be able to defend.
I mean, he
and
dropped
run.
down a bunt. He just sent it foul yesterday, but
Yep.
that's an annoying-ass player.
Yes. We got him in that trade with Boston. So, anyhow, I enjoyed that over the weekend watching baseball, and it was fun to see just how it was utilized. I was really eager to see, and you're right. If there's a player on your team who just doesn't have an eye for it, you're gonna have to say, "Look here, man, just let it go.
Yeah.
Let us do the challenge."
That's what Keith said, Uncle Keith.
Yeah.
He's like, they're gonna have to tell him you can't do it. Man, you're just gonna have to say you're not allowed. That's going to happen.
I know that would be me.
Very
you can't
soon.
do it. Yeah.
Your favorite team is going to have a sidebar at some point between now and the All-Star break. Everybody out there that says, yes, these 3 players have been restricted before the 8th or 9th inning from ever challenging. There's only 3 players on the white list that are allowed at all times.
Yeah. Soto would be the player for you that is
Easily.
always allowed to challenge, no matter
I don't know
what.
that we have another one. I think it's just him.
It's Soto. He got called for a strike on a ball that was a strike, but I understood why he thought it was a ball.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw
lowing in.
He wanted to call. He was like,
yep. Well, you had a guy put his hat towards his head and he stopped. And it was 2 batters after O'Neill.
Yeah.
And he goes, damn it. I know that this is right, but I can't. I'm not allowed to.
It's fun. It is a lot of fun. Back to it. I don't know if you saw this over the weekend, but it applies to us. I tire of us being in the news for the wrong reasons. I read from an excerpt written by Antonio Morales of The Athletic. It's nearly impossible to have a conversation with a college football staffer without the escalating costs of talent acquisition coming up. We're less than 2 years removed from the Ohio State athletic director, Ross Bork, shocking us all, or most of us, when he revealed that the Buckeyes spent $20 million on their football roster. That was only the beginning. The new number in our sport right now is $40 million, says an SEC head coach. That's for the 26 season. What's it going to be for the 27 season? I don't know. I think if you're at $40 million this year, I'll bet you're at $45 million next. It's getting up to $35 million plus, if not $40 million plus, at a Big Ten personnel staffer. A logical response would be, what do you mean $40 million? I thought there was a revenue share cap of $20.5 million for student athletes across all sports. Well, the rev care cap share was always more of a wholesome wish than an actual enforceable action. Spending doesn't guarantee your program will turn into a winner overnight, but it sure helps. Look at Indiana and Texas Tech, which have invested at unprecedented levels and have won, well, at unprecedented levels. Winning is expensive, but the alternative costs more, say coaches and personnel in the sport. Quote, losing is the most expensive element in our sport, truthfully. That was an assistant coach of a Pac-12 team. Winning is far less expensive than losing, I can tell you that. Losing, there's no return on your investment. There's a lot of return on your investment when you win, and win huge. Losing long enough, your fans become apathetic. Attendance sags, donors stop giving money, the environment gets toxic, and recruiting becomes very difficult. Florida State University, which has sputtered under Coach Mike Norvell each of the past 2 seasons, is dealing with this predicament currently. The more people see that's the pathway to winning, the Pac-12 assistant said, it's only going to become more intense. Not to mention the college football is resembling the NFL more and more every day, even though that's a turnoff for some people. And the NFL players reset the market all the time. See Seattle's Jackson Smith-Njigba just became the highest paid receiver annually in the NFL with a 4-year, $168.6 million extension. The Rams made Trent McDuffie the highest paid corner in the league earlier in the month. Feels like a different quarterback resets the market at that position every single season. A new receiver will come along and do the same shortly. It would be foolish not to expect the same thing to happen in college football.
Yeah, except it can be the same kid in consecutive off seasons.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the young man Nico Amalaya was what?
Correct.
$8 million is what he wanted at the end of his junior year.
Yes, and I believe he paid 1.2 to Lewis Riddick for the hype. Sorry, that's allegedly.
Now, high-end transfer quarterbacks are earning in the neighborhood of $4 million per season. Top transfer tackles are receiving $1.3 million. Colorado's Jordan Seaton, a former five-star recruit, entered the transfer portal in January. He was expected to earn between $2 and $3 million. He landed at LSU. Surprise, surprise. Our joking motto is just double it, said one Big Ten personnel staffer, which is what we say every cycle. It's like, whatever you hear, just double that for next year. That's what it's going to end up having to be for a lot of these kids. Whatever we end up paying for this type of kid, next cycle going through, you're going to have to double it. Trying to compare it to what is even a year ago is completely different. So they went on to say in this article, and I'll skip ahead, that was a reference made by the author of the article to Florida State's situation in Mike Norvell, not me ad-libbing. There are no rules. Sure, the College Sports Commission was set up to oversee NIL compliance. Seems ill-prepared to handle the sheer volume of deals it's being asked to approve. There's a link to that article within this article. With no real cap in place and no legislation coming, there's no reason to believe the numbers are going to go down. There's nothing that can hold anybody back right now, said one G6 GM. It's going to continuously go up every year. It's not going to change unless there's a drastic regulation change. Don't be shocked by the figures that you hear after next season when the January portal window opens up. Just hope that your favorite team has the money to spend and does so wisely. And then for some reason, this guy took a shot at your New York Mets. You're spending money, but you still have to spend money on the right guys, said one Big 12 assistant. The Dodgers spend a ton of money on a lot of the right guys. If you spend a ton of money on the wrong guys, you're just the New York Mets.
That wasn't the author. That was the Big 12 guy.
The Big 12 guy.
It must be a Braves fan.
That's pretty funny.
That's funny. You spend it on plenty of right guys. They just spend it on every right guy.
Yeah.
And also they can make up how much money they're spending because they defer it all.
Well, and also you can be wrong. You can get it wrong when you have unlimited funds. You just go get the next guy to replace the guy that you played.
Hey, man,
the other guy
we
with.
took him deeper than any team did 2 years ago in the playoffs. So I'd pump the brakes there, old Big 12 fella.
Assistant coach.
We played him a lot better than the Yankees did in the World Series.
Anyhow, yeah, so we have this talk a lot. It's worth bringing up. I hope our front office understands that this is pretty pervasive and nobody sees any rules coming to save the day, and doesn't appear that people are bashful about ripping the College Sports Commission and their inability to enforce rules. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
All new sixth-man blend from Grassroots Coffee. The coffee crafted for those who bring the energy, heartbeat, and passion for Seminoles basketball.
Every bag of Grassroots Coffee is bold and smooth six-man blend. Not only supports the FSU men's basketball team as they battle on the court.
Grassroots Coffee is locally owned, locally roasted, and locally loved. Keeps us connected to the team, the university, and our community for those of us who bleed garnet and gold.
So whether you're hitting the gym before sunrise, gathering with friends before tip-off, powering through the daily routine, or just serving customers at your business, raise your mug, fuel the team, and stay connected with Grassroots Coffee's six-man blend, available exclusively at grassrootscoffee.com.
Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere.
You probably already know that Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas is your one-stop destination for all pool maintenance needs, offering everything you need from chemicals, cleaners, vacuums, nets, and more. But that's not all. Pinch a Penny also carries a huge selection of premium hot springs hot tubs paired with easy financing options, making these luxury hot tubs affordable for everyone. And if you have an older hot tub and you're worried about the hassle of removing it, worry no more. Pinch a Penny will not only remove and haul away your old hot tub, but also offer a trade-in value for a credit towards your new one. So why wait? Visit Pinch a Penny's 12,000 square foot showroom today on Greer Road and discover how effortless and affordable owning a fantastic hot tub can be. Find out more at TallahasseeHotSpring.com. That's TallahasseeHotSpring.com.
Hey, no fans. Friends, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. All right, folks, if you're looking for a good excuse to play Seminole Legacy and feel good about it, I've got one for you. We're proud to be part of the Florida Institute for Child Welfare Golf Invitational coming up April the 13th at Seminole Legacy Golf Club here in Tallahassee. It's a Monday, which, let's be honest, is a perfect day to have a meeting on the course. Check-in starts at 8:30, shotgun at 10. They'll feed you, play a great track, free drinks, there's putting challenge, awards, silent auction, the whole kit and caboodle. It actually matters. The tournament supports education and training for child welfare workers across Florida, and part of the proceeds go right here locally to the Oasis Center for Women and Girls. So you're playing golf, but you're also doing some good. It's $200 for an individual, $750 for a foursome, so get your team together, grab your clients, or just come out and play. We're proud to sponsor it. I'd love to see some familiar faces out there. Tom Lang and myself will be playing as well, alongside PGA pro Tom Shea and FSU Hall of Famer Jane Geddes. Come join us and have a good time for a great cause. Register at ficw.fsu.edu/golf. April the 13th, the first ever Florida Institute for Child Welfare Golf Tournament. We'll see you there.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
We'll have to ask Ira, we're going to bring him on right now, Tom, where he fell in that debate, in that conversation about the ending of the game that all at once allowed us to cherish yet another devastating loss at the end of a very big game for Duke, and also rewarding one of the great a-holes in the history of the sport simultaneously.
I think he is going to be more angry that the a-hole
was rewarded
in Hurley. I think that because Shire is kind of a neutral presence, but Hurley has.
I don't know about all that, but okay.
Relative to
Hurley.
Mean,
I remember him as a player, though. And then
sure. A lot of that was Mike Patrick, too.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Mike Patrick loved him.
He would unbuckle.
That was Gary Danielson, Tim Tebow, Mike Patrick, John Shire.
Do you think when Mike Patrick, who recently died, was drifting into the beyond, that he was thinking of Shire? Warchant.com joins
Yes,
us.
I do.
What's happening, brother?
I'm good, Jeff. It was, I'll tell you what, man, I was very conflicted. Shot. Like everybody else. I mean, I literally, I screamed kind of like, oh no, like I was like, oh my gosh. But I think Kim could tell I was upset a little bit. and she's like, wait a minute, don't we hate Duke? And I was like, yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I think you have to go with whatever your initial emotion was. And mine was happy through the great sadness that I knew Duke people were feeling. Not because I was happy for UConn, but because I know that there could not be a more painful way to lose a game than the way that Duke just invented in losing that game. I mean, we've both been around a long time. We're old dudes. We've been watching this tournament since, Villanova upset Georgetown and NC State upset Houston. We remember it vividly, all the moments between that time and this time. That was truly incredible. Like, he just had to hold the ball. He didn't have to pass the ball. Can you imagine? That's brutal. Brutal.
Yeah, that was the only other part of it is the Boozer kids don't annoy me really.
No,
and I know I get and again, like they're not it's not Grayson Allen running around out there,
right? Right.
So hate the boozers. And then you're like, oh, this poor kid just completely vomited at mid-court and just gave them and you knew it. As soon as they got the ball and passed it once, I'm like, oh no. Oh, it was like watching a car accident in real time. It's just unbelievable.
So, Ira, it's funny you bring that up. You're right. Because no sooner does that ball get tipped and you realize, because what you're doing is what I'm doing and what everybody's doing, the math. In your head, you're like, down to, do they have time? They have time. Yeah. Oh, no. And then you start to see, you realize it's all coming together. This is how people lose games. And when he passes back, which, by the way, is pretty heady. I don't know that he had a choice, but it's in rhythm. And your guy, I don't care that it's from the logo. He's in rhythm. And when he releases that thing from the angle they had, you could tell that was going in.
Bucket, no doubt. And I think what affected my emotions was they pretty quickly went to a shot of Hurley celebrating.
Right.
And I can't, you robbed me of my joy. I can't be happy for Duke losing now.
Yeah.
I can't see you happy because that guy, man, he's the worst.
He is the worst, and he was the worst in that game. He always is. Yeah. Oh, man. But what a moment. What a effing moment. And if it is going to be at the expense of somebody, I do have to admit, I love that it was at the expense of Duke.
It's better than a lot of other things.
Yeah. That was something to behold. How would you, okay, and we'll move on from this because I got some Florida State stuff I got to ask you. How would you write that story? How would you lead with that story?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, the way the world is now, we have to write right away. Like we have to, so you'd have to be as quick as possible. But then going back to it, yeah, man, I think you're just focusing on all the things that kid could have done. Like you just said, he could have bounced past it. He could have held on to it. He could have thrown it up in the air like Bobby Knight suggested all those years ago.
Correct. The Bobby Knight challenge.
Yeah. He could have just thrown it off the guy's forehead. There's so many things he could have done, but when you're that short, not that the kid's short, but he's not 6'10" where he can pass it over dudes jumping and running at him. I mean, the guys he's throwing it to are wide open underneath the basket.
Oh yeah.
They don't need to score. It's painful. I mean, I'm not usually the one that I'm going to focus more on the hero than the GOAT on the other team. But man, that is a brutal, that poor kid, and yeah, I'll give him credit. And he did, I guess he did post-game interviews, which is cool. And,
tears in his eyes.
He'll be fine. I'm not, he's going to have a good life, but man, that's a brutal way to,
it's going to be a life with a constant reminder every March when that tournament highlight reel the rest of his life, they're going to have that sucker running. It's unbelievable. And that kid who hit the shot, holy moly, never pay for a drink, probably won't have a hard time when he's out and about, if you know what I'm saying. He's going to do all right for himself. He's going to do all right. He's just a freshman. He's going to be loving life. Holy moly. He was probably too stupid to know any better how big a shot that was. He just out there like, got to shoot it, I guess. Okay. So I suspect Florida State is absolutely effed with the loss of Myles Bailey. I don't make that conclusion with a definitive tone. I just suspect they're in deep trouble. Give me your overall thoughts on, obviously, the devastating injury to Myles Bailey. We all hated to see it. We're rooting for Myles to 100% recover, get healthy, and prepare to play pro baseball. But, man, when you saw that Sunday lineup, I know you covered the game for us on Sunday. When you saw that lineup, tell me it didn't take your breath away a little bit, because I did. I looked at it and went, I don't like this. It's like I'll do it for everybody in the crowd again. Stutzer, Paulino, Dowd, Carnes, Putnam, Delamolier, Fisher, McCulley, and Bavaro. Woo! I didn't think one name being absent from that would make it seem as impotent as it did.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how much it transforms everything. And I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise, but just think about, the way the offense is run the last several weeks. I mean, it's basically been, what does Bailey do? And how does he change the complexion of everything? And then you take him away, and it's a devastating blow. And one of two things is going to happen. I mean, I think the odds are, as you're saying, that, they're going to have a really tough time against any good opponent. Now, can they go beat Stetson in the land? Yeah. Can they win some games in some of these ACC series? Yeah. Especially if they get good pitching.
Right.
But you're not going to be the better team in most of the teams you play. Now, where I say it could go one way or the other is, teams do rally around each other sometimes when things go wrong. And so the question, for Lincoln, for these guys is Sunday who you're going to beat, or are you going to figure out a way to play that much better defensively? Like, everybody raise their individual level of play. That's what you hope for. That happens sometimes when a player gets injured, especially a key player. And I think Myles Bailey, the stuff Link Jarrett was saying yesterday about how, in his hospital room, all he wanted to talk about was what can they do to help this team be better this season. Like, once he gets back around the guys, like, that may uplift them, and that may make them rally around each other. That's what you're hoping for. But man, it is such a blow for a team that was already a pretty flawed team. So yeah, man, it's tough to see, but they've got to get a whole lot better pitching than they got this weekend, because that was rough.
Football. I couldn't have you on and not to ask you about your thoughts. I listened to Mike's press conference post Scrimmage, where you were up front and center on that mic, buddy. I could hear, well, at least the video, I could hear you loud and clear asking questions. What do you make of what Mike's had to say? Anything that you take away from his comments regarding the first scrimmage?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, I think that you never know what to do about when you hear about a defensive line or defensive front being disruptive and the offensive line kind of struggling with that at times. And I think talking to enough people, you're getting a sense that that's pretty consistent. Like today we asked Trey Wisner about the offensive line, and he kind of gave them some good words about how hard they're working. It sounds like that is a group that has not been dominant so far. And so good. That's good news about the defensive front. It was good to hear Tony White talk about the defensive front today. Mike Norvell also hyped them up a little bit. Tony White was pretty effusive about the guys they brought in as pass rushers, Jalen Anderson from junior college, and the kid from Texas A&M, Riley Kennedy from Texas A&M, is guys who can get after the quarterback, and that's a real positive. But just like it is in every spring practice, if that's a positive, then what's going on in the offensive line? So the good news is Herb Hand still has another 5 months to go. But I think that, to me, if you ask any of us, I think before the season, what are your three biggest concerns? And they're not great concerns to have: quarterback, offensive line, defensive line. And right now, it sounds to me like there's some promise on the defensive line. There's some concerns on the offensive line, and the quarterback his play has just kind of been there. I don't think it's been sensational. So, it's TBA, but again, I think that you're glad that something's a positive, but you're really concerned still, I think, about quarterback and offensive line.
Yeah, final thing on that. I'm glad you went there. I was going to ask you, I took it to mean when I listened to it that nobody has a clear-cut lead in this quarterback battle, and it seems to me that it's an actual battle, like they may even be on even footing.
I mean, that's possible. I still think at the end of the day,
Daniels
is going to have a huge advantage just because he has started 20-something games in college football. So, yeah, I do think Sperry's had some good days. And it sounded like I don't think that maybe that was a great scrimmage for Ashton Daniels. So that gives Sperry a shot. I mean, I think Sperry – it sounds like maybe Sperry even outperformed him on Saturday, which is a positive. But I still think, man, Ashton Daniels is kind of the reigning champion in the sense that he's played a lot of college football. So I still think Sperry's going to have to really continue doing that, stack those days on top of each other, and prove that he's a clear-cut guy. But if Daniels doesn't step up, then yeah, that door is open.
Doesn't it also seem, Ira, final thing, that it's pretty clear Tony White wasn't in love with the guys he got to coach last year?
Well, that is fairly clear. Yeah. I think specifically some of the guys in the defensive back room, and what happens every year is when guys go in the transfer portal and you lose players, and sometimes fans and media. You get upset, or you wonder why did that guy leave? What did he want to leave for? And I think in some of those cases, guys left because they were kind of encouraged to leave because they didn't have great attitudes. And you go back and you just kind of think back to the situation at Stanford with Edwin Joseph. You think back to some of the off the field incidents that they've had with some guys on that defense. So Yeah, I think and I thought Tony White made an interesting comment. He kind of alluded to Indiana a little bit, and he kind of stopped himself. But I think he was trying to say is you don't have to have the most talented defense if you've got guys that'll play hard and play together. Now, whether or not they can play like Indiana's defense, that's a big question. But I do think that's what they're trying to do is have more of a hard-nosed, blue-collar work ethic, because what they had last year, there was the Alabama game, but then there was also the Pitt game, the Stanford game, the Virginia game, and a bunch of other games. So I think that he's trying to reclaim that, and we'll see if they're good enough. I think the attitudes, I believe him. I think the attitudes will be better. The question is, will the talent be enough?
Always a pleasure, my brother. I'll see you tomorrow. Be well.
Thanks, Jeff. See you, man.
Yep, take care. Irish Fell, warchant.com. Yeah, I mean, I get it. He had some guys that made his life difficult a year ago, and you're happy when those headaches are removed, but the question still remains, are you good enough? Because ultimately nobody cares if the attitude's good if you suck. And attitudes that are good when you're not playing games can suddenly look awfully tough to deal with when you start losing games. So guys that are in lockstep and doing all the things that you're asking them to do right now tend to push back a little bit when you're on the back end of back-to-back losses.
That's why he said, as of now, they have the right attitude. In the statement he made today, you can see that on some of our socials within that press conference. As of now, I would agree. Everything. I think that's a great mantra. Maybe that's the motto for this season is as of now. Because you could look at that good or bad.
So we're going to
job statuses.
Just say grasshopper at the end of everything. Yeah.
As of now.
As of now.
As of now, sure. Yes.
You can do the we'll see. Yeah. Man, I'd love it if we got a kid and a group on that side of the ball, let's say the linebackers, that just play together and play well and trigger and hit and rally around one another. Be cool to see. Be cool to see. It's been a minute.
Just to rally to the ball and play together?
Mm-hmm. It'd be just a couple of years since we've seen it.
This will be the 752nd time I've referenced the 2010 defense, but I'll do it because that defense wasn't great. They had frontline players that were pretty good, but every week they took somebody's head off and they played their ass off. I mean, whether it was a couple of guys for Clemson and Miami during the course of the season, Mike Harris had a couple of big hits, whether it was all the way at the end of the year in the Peach Bowl when Greg Reed hit Lattimore.
Oh, yeah.
And we are still feeling the impact from being in the building. And somebody almost got thrown out of the press box.
I did almost get thrown out of the press conference because I did the woo.
Right. Yeah.
That was something.
No cheering in the press box.
No.
But that hit was unbelievable. That team did that once a week. Nick Moody against Florida.
Oh,
remember that hit?
Yeah, Nick Moody wasn't having it.
But that defense gave
Chicklets.
up. That defense did give up quite a few yards and quite a few points.
Yeah.
But we loved the hell out of that defense. That's what you're looking for this year.
They brought a little something to the party. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
call 891-4200. This is Rachel Anay with the Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Frobley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 81. Winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies again tonight, lows around 64. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 84. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 77 degrees.
I'm Michael Garrison, third generation here at Metal Roofing Sales of Tallahassee. It's a common misunderstanding that a metal roof is more expensive than a traditional shingle roof. At Metal Roofing Sales of Tallahassee, we'll show you how affordable it really can be. A metal roof far exceeds the durability and lifespan of a shingle roof, saving you thousands of dollars over time. Not only do we have the technology to fabricate and produce the best materials, we have the most experienced contractors to install your roof as well. And we will match or beat any other price in tile. Find us online at metalroofingsales.net. You can trust the 3 generations of service under one roof.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood. Oh, good days. So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played. Kind of like the bikes we built. Correct, yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played. But
And
they
you
don't
still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Now, earlier in the show, I said I thought Mike sounded good. That's the tenor, though. That's all I was getting to. That's what you do for a spring post-scrimmage calm conversation. That's all I meant. Just because somebody asked me somebody emailed me, like, what do you mean by that? I was like, no, he just sounded like a normal person.
Yeah, he's just relaxed.
Yeah, very relaxed.
He's not trying to deliver an agenda, and he's just speaking, what are your questions? Here are the answers, rather than the raising of the voice.
Wasn't over the top. Now,
we didn't have an AC. Now, we've never had a scrimmage like the ACC kickoff where he just gets louder and louder as he goes.
That's still one of my favorite moments. He's working himself into a lather. Well, why? What's going on here? This is strange. Yeah.
There are national reporters filing their stories from a different coach being at the dais.
Yeah.
They will break the concentration and go, what is he doing?
He's yelling. No, he was normal. Very, very normal. That was good to see. I thought he looked healthier too. I'm monitoring.
Yeah, you're watching.
I'm watching closely.
Hey, we did that with Jimbo.
Hell yeah.
Jimbo, actually, the less healthy Jimbo looked better
off we were. Yeah. Because he was burning the midnight oil.
But Mike has mirrored the program, not in the inverse way.
Right.
Mike has looked healthier when we were healthier as a program.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, maybe.
It's worth monitoring. Jags Knowles, thanks for the contribution. Just saw it. I'll read it now. Do you trust the current administration to make the right hire after mid-Mike goes 2-10? I think we need a complete overhaul from the top down. Thank you, Jags and Knowles. I don't know anymore, Jags and Knowles. I don't know anymore, man. I would like to think that it would be self-evident that if you have 3 straight losing seasons as a head football coach here, you have to make the move A.
That's the first part of the discussion.
First part of
would
the discussion.
Would they do it?
Right. That's the real first part of the discussion. Would they do it? I think it seems self-evident to me. You would have to do it, but I don't know anymore. That's the part I don't know anymore. And I will say this about hiring coaches. You guys have heard me be critical of Alford, but I have not blamed him for everything. And I have given him some praise for some things. But I think hiring a coach anymore is a lot different than it used to be. It is no longer a situation where you can easily identify certain guys as being can't miss. The sport's changed. The landscape has changed. Indiana just went 16-0 and won a national title. The sport has changed. Nick Saban got out of this sport because it was changing, and he could not have the advantage he once had over everybody else, and he recognized it. And he achieved everything there was to achieve, and he was old. He said, all right, I'm out. Don't pay me to talk about football on TV a lot. I can do that. Don't blame him. But I think it was fueled a little bit by, so now everybody can pay their players? Oh, okay. This is going to get exceedingly difficult, gang. So there's some of that. And I think that what you're searching for with coaches anymore, again, I come to the conclusion through years of trial and error and interviewing coaches, watching it play out. The coaches largely all know the same things. They do. They all largely know the same things. Now, they may want to implement certain systems that you like more than others, and you can be critical of guys in which you say you're not playing to your personnel. There are choices that are still being made that can make or break a coach's tenure or time at a place. But in terms of the overall football acumen, they all have relatively the same football acumen. Timing has a lot to do with success in coaching, whether that be in-game, a choice you make when you draw from that coaching acumen that I dare say everybody has, and utilize it in a certain way to gain a benefit or an advantage in the moment with all the marbles on the line. Yeah, timing is a big to-do here. Now we're going to call this to go with this and pair it with that because I've seen the way you reacted to this. We all may sit down and take a football test afterwards and we'd all get the same grade. But how I use that acumen and those plays, that's different across coaches, and you can see guys who fail at it and guys who succeed at it. But more than anything, I really do think it's about fit. It's about fit. Guys, like, go back to Brian Kelly. LSU is spending now what they were spending with Brian Kelly. It's all relative. It's moved up incrementally with each passing year, but it's not like they gave him a shortage of things to utilize in order to bring in good players and coach them up and win football games. LSU is pot committed in everything. They're committed to bringing in the biggest a-holes in sport, and they're committed to trying to win by providing for those people the most amount of resources possible. Some will and some will not win. Brian didn't win enough, but Brian got fired not because he was a prolific loser. He wasn't. Go look at the record. It wasn't that bad. He got fired because he was a square peg in a round hole. He didn't fit that culture at all. They hated him from day one, and he hated them. And everybody had to have known it was going to be a disaster when he faked a Southern accent. The first chance he had to speak, he butchered it. He faked the Southern accent. That should have been immediately a red flag. Oh, we're going to have a problem here. This guy knows he doesn't fit in. He knows he's not one of us. He's going so far as to try to fake it because he thinks we're crazy. Anyhow, so there was that. You got to be a good fit, both from a cultural standpoint. I'm talking about the culture of a program, of a university, of an athletic department. You got to be a fit. You got to be able to work with others. You got to have a similar mentality. You got to be pulling in the same direction. You got to see your, in this case, football universe the same way. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes you get a guy in and you're like, he didn't get it. He doesn't get it. He's from Montana. He's never recruited and coached football in the South. He doesn't know how to deal with these kids or this level or whatever it might be. And you can see it. You can sense it. Other guys, they can acclimate. They do a good job immediately. Others, you're like, like right about now, somebody who's rooting for Alabama is saying, yep, we got a problem. DeBoer is not one of us. He doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit. Hell, that columnist will tell you that all damn day. I don't like the cut of your jib, Mr. DeBoer. That is what he essentially says every week in a column. And yet DeBoer, do we think he doesn't know football? He coached circles around people for years and took his ability all the way to Washington where he played for a national title and flipped that program around like that. Now he's in Alabama and they're like, over-under win total 8. What, did he get stupid? So it is an awful lot about fits. And I think more than anything, you can't always know. It's less certain now than ever before. I want to find a few tangible things in a coach, like he is a tireless recruiter and he has a track record of evaluating, assessing, and developing talent. You give me those two things, we can work with a lot of the other stuff.
Well, that's the thing is you're going to have a wish list. Everybody does, but then you need to know what we are. Like, what are we?
Correct.
What are we about? What is our identity as a football program? I could tell you that the two best coaches we've had, they share the traits of being Southern adjacent, if not outright Southern.
Yes.
Good recruiters, closers on the trail.
Elite recruiters.
Yeah,
elite,
both
good.
of them.
Yes.
Yeah, both of them were elite recruiters. I can't speak to Bowden in the 70s or the 80s. I wasn't alive for that. You can speak to what those programs look like. I knew old man Grandpa Bowden. I did. And Bobby, who had arrived, was the guy that I knew.
Bobby was innovative in his youth, yes.
So, offensive minded.
Right.
Yeah. I think Jimbo was the better eye for talent, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe Bobby had a great eye for talent.
Bobby was a great recruiter, and I don't think he had a bad eye for talent. He just recruited the best players in the state.
There's a difference, though, when it comes to like projecting stuff. Jimbo moved some people across the other side of the football and turned them into rich dudes.
Yeah, he was elite at that. I think that was Jimbo's greatest strength, was player evaluation and development. Yes.
So does that mean we got to get a Southern guy who can recruit? Is that what we need to be?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I would start with that.
So for me, that's one part of it. Now the wish list thing's very important too. To me, he has to be somebody who can extract money from money people. Luke Laux is already really good at that, and he's in the basketball program, and he doesn't have a Southern drawl, but he can extract money.
He grew up in Florida. Most people in Florida don't have
so
Southern draws. Yeah.
So that one's easy. But we have so few who will give. You got to be able to work that room and get those folks to believe.
Well, I think you have to find creative ways above and beyond getting those kids, those men and women to write checks.
Right. Like you might say developer, recruiter, and X's and O's guy. And like in my top three, if not my top two, would be fundraiser. We don't have as much, so we're going to need them to make it up on the back end. And that's going to have to be a skill of that coach.
Well, and I think a coach would evaluate a program as well and say, who do they have in their front office, and are they aligned with the way I view this? And can their athletic director fundraise and open other revenue streams that they're currently sitting on and keeping for the university? Because they got to come off their wallets and start paying. So this is going to be, quid pro quo. This is going to be a reciprocal.
It's more than just the coach. Yeah.
There's a lot to think about there. Final hour forthcoming. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Comes IOWise, Tallahassee's trusted source for IT services. Protect your business with 24/7 cybersecurity, managed IT support, cloud storage solutions, network design, voice over IP phone systems, expert tech counseling, and more. Whether your business is growing fast or just getting started, IOWise keeps your systems running smoothly and securely. Local service, big solutions. Visit iowise.com today and work wiser with IOWise.
I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, and today I want to talk straight with you about debt, especially high interest rate credit cards, and why you shouldn't just sit there and hope the situation will fix itself. Nationwide, the average credit card interest rate is hovering around 21% or higher. The total revolving credit card debt in the U.S. is over $1 trillion and rising. If you're carrying a credit card balance, you're likely paying hundreds of dollars each month just in interest, without even touching your principal. But here's the good news. You can act. What I help folks do is refinance their home or use a home loan strategy to consolidate high interest debt into something with a much lower interest rate and one payment. It puts you in control. So if you own a home or you're buying one, let's talk about turning your house into a tool so you can stop the credit card interest trap and you can stop feeling like you're paying lots without making progress. Go to loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com, and let's get you on a smarter financial path and get out of the high interest grind.
All right, folks, if you're looking for a good excuse to play Seminole Legacy and feel good about it, I've got one for you. We're proud to be part of the Florida Institute for Child Welfare Golf Invitational coming up April the 13th at Seminole Legacy Golf Club here in Tallahassee. It's a Monday, which, let's be honest, is a perfect day to have a meeting on the course. Check-in starts at 8:30, shotgun at 10. They'll feed you, play a great track, free drinks, there's putting challenge, awards, silent auction, the whole kit and caboodle. It actually matters. The tournament supports education and training for child welfare workers across Florida, and part of the proceeds go right here locally to the Oasis Center for Women and Girls. So you're playing golf, but you're also doing some good. It's $200 for an individual, it's $750 for a foursome, so get your team together, grab your clients, or just come out and play. We're proud to sponsor it. I'd love to see some familiar faces out there. Tom Lang and myself will be playing as well, alongside PGA pro Tom Shea and FSU Hall of Famer Jane Geddes. Come join us and have a good time for a great cause. Register at ficw.fsu.edu/golf. April the 13th, the first ever Florida Institute for Child Welfare Golf Tournament. We'll see you there.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
WVFD Gretna, Tallahassee. This is Real Talk 93.3. More of the Jeff Cameron Show is coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
The Final Four is set. Illinois will meet UConn as a 1.5 favorite, 139.5 the total. And Michigan a 1.5 favorite over Arizona. The Final Four Saturday, Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis. Tommy Fleetwood plus 14.25 to win the Valero Texas Open at TPC San Antonio. Robert McIntyre plus 16.50, as is Ludwig Oberg. Colin Morikawa plus 18.50. Braves today, $1.31 favorite with the A's at Truist Park, while the Tampa Bay Rays are on the road to the Brewers as a $1.19 road dog today. Brewers minus 143, 8 under the total. Score $500 in rewards at the G-Bank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASC trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories, bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27, in your neighborhood.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Are you looking for the perfect car for the new driver in your house, or kids going off to college, or you drive a lot of miles and want new car reliability with full factory warranty on a vehicle that gets 40 miles per gallon? Then a new Nissan Versa from Kraft is a car for you. For starters, it's the least expensive new car in all of America. You can buy one for less than $19,000 with payments of $348 a month and no money down. It's a car payment from days gone by with 21st century advantages and safety features that are more like you'd expect in expensive cars. Versa has standard automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, rear view monitor, and hands-free Bluetooth system. And the best part, all cars from Kraft Nissan come with our exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty, good for as long as you own your car and as many miles as you drive. Plus, Versa also has a 5-star safety rating, and J.D. Power says Nissan is #1 for new vehicle quality among mass market brands. But seriously, who has a new car payment for less than $350 with no money down? It's only Kraft Nissan, and it's the Nissan Versa for $18,950 and just $348.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
doing that as well. Dolphin to the cap to you. And we appreciate your support. Thanks for listening, however it is you listen. And that's true, too, of those of you who are listening right now while you are, I don't know, on a long run. Maybe you're working out at the gym. Maybe you're in the shower. Maybe you're cooking. I don't know. You might have the pod. This is hours from now, and you're like, what did Cameron have to say today in hour 3? That's what you could be doing. I'm saying hello to you. Hello to you, person listening at 9:32 p.m.
Hands 10 and 2 if you're driving. Come on now. 10 and 2.
Okay, so I guess I'll have to I hate doing it, but whenever we do a live third hour, I do need to go back and make mention of some things that we cited earlier in the show, which was the devastation we all felt this weekend while watching an injury that ends Myles Bailey's season. And maybe what hope we had to make it back out to Omaha. We'll see. They're going to continue to compete and play games, and they're going to have to try to find a new way to win said games. But first and foremost, tip the cap to Myles. I'm happy to hear the surgery went well. Hated to see that. He's been a great young man. One of the things I like about Myles Bailey is he's a superstar, but you wouldn't know it to look at him, meaning when he hits a home run, he's subdued. He just rounds the bases. They're just not standing there forever and a day. Not that bothers me all that much. I'm not one of those people who flips out about that kind of thing. But he is not a look-at-me guy is my point at all. He is a very low-key superstar player. And, he also emerged as not just a prodigious hitter of a baseball in terms of the sheer bat speed and ball speed off the bat and great lengths in which he hits his home runs and all that. He's a guy that turned into a very, very good fielder, just a great all-around player. And he was the straw that stirred the drink, for sure, for Florida State. You look at that lineup without him, and it looks bereft. It looks lacking. It looks susceptible. And so you worry about it a little bit. And, unfortunately, we saw both the reaction emotionally from Florida State, but also, I think, physically in the lineup, how much different they were yesterday when Duke's pitcher feared not at all, coming right at Florida State players, fastball after fastball. Not a lot in that lineup to put fear in you. He created a lot of runs, I dare say, by being on base all the time and also putting pitchers in binds in the way that they had to attack him if people already were on base. So it's unfortunate, and I think we all know when we saw it, that's the end of that. I don't think we'll see Myles Bailey play at Florida State again. Wouldn't that be your assumption, Tom, that he's going to take it on down the road to the Major League Baseball, that league that they all aspire to go to?
Yeah, oddly, because he is expected to have a full recovery, I think that spells the end of it. Because that means that, I'm assuming Link Jarrett's telling the truth and Florida State baseball is telling the truth and the doctors are telling the truth that this was, from an injury standpoint, something that they can easily heal back and all the way from. 4 to 6 months is what the initial prognosis was in terms of rehab recovery time for Myles. If the medical's clean, it doesn't stop a Major League ball club from drafting him really, really highly.
Agreed.
And that would be the thing that would bring him back is the medical's not so good, which is bad news for the kid, but he'd have to come back here and prove it and display the fact that he has the range necessary or whatever it is. Man, he doesn't need to do that. If the doctors say it's going to be fine and MLB doctors agree, that power plays, man. And you already know that he can play defense and he's rangy. So I think that's it. And he's draft eligible as a sophomore, which everybody knew, but just rehashing in case you didn't. You said he's only in his second year, draft eligible. This is the ultimate bad break for Florida State.
Yeah, it is. It stinks. And we wish him well, and we'll see how Florida State responds. They're going to have their two frontline guys really pitch well. I think one of the players that's currently not hitting is going to have to emerge and start to hit guys that you expected to hit who aren't. Somebody's going to have to step up there, but there will be no replacing that kind of power. Before, there is nobody on this team with that kind of power. For that matter, there's nobody maybe in this conference that possesses the kind of power that Myles Bailey does. So it's a game changer. It's unfortunate. We talked some about Florida State's scrimmage, what we're trying to glean from what we get from Mike Norvell and the coaching staff as they address the press after that scrimmage. Obviously, we're not out at spring practice, so it's secondhand, but looks like there's a legitimate quarterback battle right now that nobody's really emerged just yet. Ira Chappelle joined me last hour. He still believes that Ashton Daniels will be the guy when the season starts. We're 5 months away. That's fine. But for now, it does sound like they're neck and neck, and that they both had taken turns playing pretty well and then also having some tough moments. Sounds like the scrimmage didn't go as well for Mr. Daniels as they had hoped. Doesn't sound like the offensive line's been great either. So knock on wood, that improves. It's tough for us to really know to what degree that's a problem or not. And I would think that by the time you get to the second and third scrimmages, you'd have a little bit different feel.
One of the younger names that keeps coming up is Devin Carter.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get to that point where he's getting the Boggs treatment. Boggs got a lot of press last year because everybody kept talking about him. Did it manifest? No, but I think that's because of the offense and the nature of the way that offense was run. Devin Carter is now starting to get that praise. It was before the pads came on, and the question I offered up last week is, all right, he's a true freshman. He's quick. We all know this. They spend a lot of money on him to come in here. Now, put the pads on, get into a scrimmage setting. Is he still doing it? The answer so far is yes. I'm sure it's not against the first-team defense. That would be a meteoric rise. But Devin Carter's name gets brought up a lot. That's notable because he is a young player at a position where you can climb up the depth chart right now. Danzy's running track. There was the video this weekend of Mike Norvell and Tim Harris watching him run his relay and obviously winning his relay. I'm sure they're working with Deuce, but I don't think they're putting Deuce out there for every single rep.
No need to.
Boggs might have gotten banged up. So there is opportunity there for Devin Carter to make some noise. We'll see if he does and he keeps following through, but that's a notable storyline to watch.
Did not get to two stories, both involving golf over the weekend that made headlines. We rooted for it. We first talked about it after the opening round of the Children's Houston Open, and that was we wanted Gary Woodland to get back into the winner's circle, to hoist a trophy again. He had not done so since winning the U.S. Open in 2019. If you didn't know the story, 2019, Gary Woodland wins the U.S. Open. He's got game for days, beautiful swing, and one of the most popular guys on the tour, real good athlete, all those things. And then his game kind of went wayward, and really went wayward, as in, how come Gary Woodland post-U.S. Open doesn't ever win anything? And we kind of chalked it up at the time to maybe his dream was just to win the U.S. Open. And, he's had a hard time focusing and remaining as intense with practice as one needs to in order to win 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 majors or other golf tournaments. Turns out he was wondering, too, why it was that he couldn't play anymore. He was missing cut after cut after cut after cut. Turns out he went and got checked out. 3 years removed from winning in 2019, and they said, you have a tumor. You have a lesion on your brain. We've got to go in there. And they had to go in there all right. And from what I read, it was nasty. It's a baseball-sized hole they put in your head to get in there and remove the lesion. They did do that. Gary still wasn't good. Gary hasn't been playing well post-surgery and was struggling to recapture it. Now, there were glimpses here and there of the old Gary Woodland. You'd see it every now and again, about a tournament or two a year. Hey, Gary Woodland's on the leaderboard. There you go, Gary. Come on. That's the way we would look at it. Then recently as 2 weeks ago, Gary Woodland sat down, did an interview with Rex, whatever his name is, from the Golf Channel. I don't know his name.
Hoggard.
Okay, so that guy.
That guy's right.
Yeah, did that interview. But in it was incredibly revealing and incredibly brave. He came forward to say that he was dealing with PTSD from the surgery, a lot of existential questions about the meaning of life and his role in it and whether or not he'll ever win again. And he had these emotions that he couldn't contain, didn't know what was bringing them on, what elicited the feelings of fear and panic that he was having on the golf course. It could be anything from the sound that a patron makes as they're watching him swing, could be somebody sneaking up behind him to hand him a club or anything. It was just odd, the things that would cause him to spiral, and he had to admit to it, or he wanted to admit to it. Said afterwards that it was like taking 1,000-pound weight off his shoulders. Well, quite clearly, because since that time he's played well and now he's won, and he made it look easy. He ran away with it on Sunday and got out to a very big lead, and then just kind of played station-to-station golf and didn't really do much of anything to give it up, and told everybody, come and get me.
And they could not do it. And he ran away even. It's not like come and get me. There was a little bit of runaway in there too.
He had 7-stroke lead, then it was down to 4. I was like, okay, come on, Gary.
Yeah, just don't go in the water in the last few holes.
Yeah.
golf is increasingly becoming a younger man's game. Used to be that you could be 45, 46 years old and you could win an event.
Yeah.
You wouldn't win a major unless you were Jack, but you could win into your 40s. It just doesn't happen anymore. They cited a stat yesterday that in the last 90-plus PGA Tour events, only twice has a 40-plus-year-old person won an event.
It's because of distance.
And it's Justin Rose. Same guy did it twice. Nobody else until yesterday. Gary Woodland, 41, and he is driving the ball at a crazy rate. He didn't need to on the weekend, but he broke out a 196 ball speed, which is what Bryson was doing when he was cycling.
Considered a freak.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
When he was Beefcake Bryson. That's the kind of move that he was putting on the ball. Gary Woodland said in the post-round press conference, this is by far the best his game has ever looked. From a distance standpoint, that's unequivocally true.
Yeah, it was awesome to watch, and he broke down afterwards as we knew he would. But because he had secured the lead for hours on end, it wasn't as emotional, I didn't think, Tom, because we knew it was a foregone conclusion. He was going to win. So long as he didn't unravel, it was emotional to see him emotional, which was nice. And the fact that he was able to hug his wife right there on the green and have that moment, good for golf, man. That got numbers, and people wanted to see that happen. It was a lot of fun. Also, shout out to Minwoo Lee, who did the right thing and laid back and got the crowd involved and was excited to see the success of Gary Woodland. That was cool. I like Minwoo anyhow, so that was fun to watch.
It's a triumph. Look, that is a dark place that he was. He couldn't even get through the interview, as you're talking about, with Hoggard without breaking down within the interview.
He couldn't.
And him sharing what he's going through doesn't fix it. It just makes it more manageable. And he managed his way. But the hard part is, even if you're dealing with darkness like that, great days don't necessarily mean that you're fixed magically. And that's what he kept saying in the end is, well, this is just another day. It's a really good day, but it's just another one. My man is still struggling. And so it's something to watch. And hopefully Augusta for him, which he's now in the field for, is a place where he can get some more roars on the weekend.
Yeah, and I do think from what I can tell, from what he had to say and what others have said about it, like each obstacle that you're able to overcome further emboldens and strengthens you in your way that would allow you to someday get past most of all these symptoms that he's dealt with. It is a process, but every measure of success along the way begets more success a lot of times when you have the tools and then you show that you can overcome and persevere, which he said, look, I didn't want this thing to win. I've looked at it as a competition. Okay. However you got to look at it. So however you got to look at it. And he wins, and that was good to see. The other golf story is not a good golf story, and it's Tiger Woods again. And look, man, this all seems fairly self-evident. Now, obviously, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. We'll see what happens. I don't know if this will ever go to court. I'm sure his lawyers will end up getting this thing reduced from DUI to reckless. I'm going to guess all of that's what's going to happen. But we now have 3 different incidents with Tiger Woods and cars. And he and vehicles don't need to be around each other very often unless somebody is driving his. Because at this point, my man, middle of the afternoon, flipping your car and then kind of meandering away as if you're trying to leave, not a good situation because of what we think it might reveal. Speculative, of course, because of his past history, but it certainly seems to me that my man is back having a hard time dealing with the pain from his body having broken down. Much of it's self-produced with all the overtraining and all the dumb military stuff he did, trying to chase his dad's ghost and all that stuff. He's popping pills. It's pretty obvious. And it's so crazy that we've been on this for a few weeks because, Tom, we had the conversation. He didn't look right.
No, a couple
he was
months ago,
sweating
really.
profusely, and talking gibberish and slurring his words. Like, in retrospect, it would seem those two are related.
It would, yes. I theorized it was post-surgery of some kind because there were, issues with the way he was speaking, and I thought maybe he had some sort of surgery. He did sound better after that initial interview where he was profusely sweating and flighty. I mean, really flighty. It almost looked like a backstage interview after a concert for one of the great bands of the 70s. Like, my man is...
And they were on Goofballs.
Is he with us? I know he's sitting here, but is he with us? And it was all fun and games, but now here's the problem. A lot of the people that are connected to Tiger, that are close and in his circle, are all saying the same thing, which is they're just sad. That is not good. That means that they were feeling something was going on. They weren't willing to talk about it. This incident happens, and now they're saying on the record, Kisner being one of the leading examples, like, it just makes me sad. Oh boy, that's not good because of the people within the golf game that Tiger lets in. There aren't many. Kisner is one of them. So that tells me that there might be some more to this story coming in the next couple months.
I mean, look, again, it's speculation. We're not in Tiger's life. Nobody really is. Very precious few are. Tiger is mercurial. He's a weird cat. He's, obviously we marvel at the talent. We're always talking about the talent and the career. He had a 7 to 8 year run that's never been topped by anybody. Not Jack, not anybody. Now he's the second best golfer of all time behind Jack, but he had a run within the run that is better than anything Jack ever did. Jack will tell you that too. So we look at this guy. He's one of the greatest professional athletes in the history, in our lifetime, certainly. And I think everybody kind of longs for one more glimpse. You want one more glimpse. That's what, when he came back and won the Masters of 19, when that happened, that's what that was, right? Oh, we got a peek. Well, once again, we got to look inside. We got to see it one more time. And it was incredible. And much of the damage in his life had been self-inflicted, but we root for people. We want people to overcome things, especially if we don't think you're a sociopath. If you've made some mistakes, got addiction issues, you cheated on your wife, you did some things, most of us would say, all right, get it together, buddy. Get it together. And then if you get it together, we're like, all right, good for you. We're rooting for you, usually. That happened. And we thought, oh, well, things will work out. It's going to be okay. Not okay. He keeps getting hurt, keeps having surgeries. He's clearly had a problem managing pain through much of his last 10 years, 12 years. And I don't think it's reckless to speculate that that's exactly what was going on. He passes the breathalyzer, blows all zeros. Well, alcohol's never been the problem. When he got arrested the first time, when they took the picture of him looking out to lunch, and hilariously, the guy wore it on the shirt, and Tiger laughed when he saw it, by the way. That was funny. But that said, he was hopped up on goofballs. We knew it. He admitted to it. Clearly, you look at that picture again, you're like, back on the goofballs. Back on the goofballs.
Yeah, the hard part here in this scenario, I don't know what the solution is. Weed? Because he's in a lot of pain. He's in a lot of pain.
Lots of weed.
I mean,
Tiger, call Matt Millar.
Hello, Front Street. I just wonder what would recommend, because it's either live in real pain without painkillers.
Weed's legal now.
Well, right.
And he would get one. He'd get the card. He'd get the card. Yes. Like somebody's racing over to his house right now to give him the card.
Cheech Chong and Tiger's blend.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know.
Make the turn with Tigers.
He could get rich all over again. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I call this one up and down.
I'm telling you. Something's got to give. That, and you're a billionaire. Pay somebody $60,000 a year to drive you around, brother. Sweet Jesus. I know he wants total autonomy. He wants to be able to come and go as he pleases. Everybody does. I get it. It's easier said than done. But
other people want to live too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah,
here.
My man.
The broad daylight thing that's troubling. Twice now. Broad daylight, buddy. That's our guy in the Mexican restaurant that passed away. It's a different addiction, but it's the same thing. 2:00 in the afternoon.
That was the former Michigan State wide receiver, wasn't it?
Yes.
Charles or whatever it was. Oh, my Lord. I just remember reading that story. He had 9 margaritas at 2
There was another
afternoon.
Receiver with the same name.
Same name. Yeah. Williams.
Charles Williams?
Yeah.
Charles Woodson? No.
No, Williams. We have to go back and look at that.
Roy Williams?
No.
No?
I don't remember. It was a Southern Cal. His name was the same name as the Southern Cal receiver.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we're doing this live on the radio, Tom. I would say to you that that story, which now we know is tragic because the guy went on to die, but in the moment that we read it on the air, it was hilarious because he saw those specials and he was going to get
Charles Rogers.
I had the Charles part right.
Yeah.
I had the Charles part right. Yeah. Man.
January 2010. Boy, oh boy. That was a very early, I feel like I was intern producing that day that segment happened.
Yeah, you might have been. King of Tally writes, how strange is it that you gentlemen were just talking about Tiger and substances the day before? Yeah, we saw that interview.
We've been talking about him for months. Yeah, I got that one. This is my next Arnold Palmer. This one I'm putting in the.
Well, when I went back and looked at it, I could see. I mean, you rightfully
I
raised
was like,
the alarm.
You need to see this.
You're like, look at
this.
Look at my man.
And also, what is ESPN doing? What are you doing? Super close-ups with my man who cannot sit straight. He looks like Tweak from South Park. He's moving all over the place.
That I thought his swing looked like ass. He looked like death. Everything about it looked awful.
You know how we cover it up, guys? We zoom in more.
No, he's sweating profusely.
You hide him around a posse of other golfers.
You get somebody in his camp and you say, hey, you got to get a hold of your boy. We can't have him on camera out here looking like this.
If they haven't pulled that interview by now, they should have.
His hand is shaking. He's doing all this stuff. Like
this is not the one from last week. This is the one from just if you're looking it up. It led TGL. It led the show. What are you doing? I think it was taped too. Somebody needs to be in that production room going, no, this is wrong for everybody, not just Tiger.
Well,
I would also say to King of Tally that we were talking about the quadriplegic alleged murderer last week.
That was awesome.
Climbing a ladder with a gun. And not 2 hours after the show was over was there video of him climbing a ladder with a rifle.
In Nubs.
Last week, we were batting 1,000.
We were all over it. Yep. That was a special one. And I really criticized the guy that got shot. My man, you got a lot of time to snatch that gun out of those nubs. There's no reason for you to sit there calmly while this guy's loading a pistola.
We were talking about your boys cleaning the gutters and how this guy apparently would climb a ladder. And then TMZ's like, well, here's a video of him climbing a ladder.
With a rifle.
With a rifle. Like, what?
Oh, it's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Goodness gracious.
Happen now.
Well, we went on spring break in Panama City. Just me and Hank, my emotional support alligator. We decided to relive the glory days like I did in 1989. First stop, Spinnaker, swung by La Villa. Hank wanted to grab a cocktail at Miss Newby's and then take a stroll through Shipwreck Island and maybe kick the coaster on at the Miracle Strip, just like the old days.
Gosh, I didn't even know those places still exist.
That didn't stop Hank. We just checked into the sea sands and hit the beach. Next thing I know, Hank's out there riding a jet ski. I'm doing a keg stand and somebody hands me a phone.
So when did you get hurt?
Well, I went full throttle on that jet ski, twisted sideways, and pop, I blew my shoulder out.
When you're not as young as you used to be, spring break can humble you real fast. Visit Fenn Chiropractic and get straightened back out. Book your appointment online at fennchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
Water is your home's worst enemy. It finds cracks, soft spots, and weaknesses. But not on our watch. At Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing, we're veteran-owned and built different, driven by detail and the pursuit of excellence. We install seamless gutters, underground drainage, and waterproofing systems that don't fail. Because when you live with discipline, water doesn't stand a chance. Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing. Visit guttersolutions.net. With us, it's personal.
This is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. You've probably heard the saying, marry the house, date the rate. Here's what that means. If you love the home, do not wait on the perfect interest rate. You can always refinance later, and I can help you plan for that from day one. In fact, a lot of homeowners I worked with last year are refinancing right now and saving hundreds each month. Others are using the equity in their homes to invest, buying second homes or rental properties that are already building wealth. So whether you're looking to lower your monthly payment, get cash out, or start an investment portfolio, let's talk strategy. I'll walk you through your options and find the smartest financial move for where you are right now. You can find me at loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, and I want to help give you the keys to your next opportunity.
Hey, everybody, it's Ed Dean along with Roger Henderson, also with FloridaDaily.com. Just want to remind you, daily 4 to 6 in the afternoons right here in Tallahassee on Real Talk 93.3 FM. Roger, it is literally the 2 fastest hours anywhere in afternoon talk radio.
And if you think the country's going crazy, we'll help you make sense of it all.
Oh, yeah, we'll try to make some sense of it. Again, Monday through Friday in the afternoons, Ed Dean, Roger Henderson on 93.3.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachian Parkway.
The Civil Air Patrol Tallahassee Composite Squadron is always looking for new members. We have opportunities for both cadets ages 12 to 17 and adults 18 and up.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Well done, TPE. Good job, Mario. There it is. Who did he use? Boz. Charles Rogers, that's right. I've given this some thought, and the incoherent 70s rock star comp for Tiger is Boz Burrell. That's well done, King Crimson. Boz was also, I believe, in Bad Company. But there you go. There you go.
Oh, really? Who was he hanging around?
So there's that. Yeah, not bad. I can't picture Boz in my head. I'll have to pull him up. But I remember. I know who he is because, I'm a music genius, but other than that, I can't remember what he looks like. Tiger's got that frizzy, sorry hair, like if you call that hair. I don't know what he's doing with that. Never have. I mean, time's been up for a long time, Tiger. You should have shaved that ages ago. Maybe that's part of the torment is that you just can't stand looking at that frizzy mess on the top of your head, so you're up on goofballs. But we gotta do better than this. This light's also not working. Boz Burrell, that's funny. We have an announcement to make, and it is going to be what? There's no segue for that.
No, there isn't a segue.
So, listen, the golf tournament, the Jeff Cameron Show Invitational, Jeff Cameron Show Warchant Invitational is this Thursday. It is this Thursday, and we had all of our returning teams and sponsors, and it's benefiting the Second Harvest of the Big Bend, and advertisers and folks that had all given tons of money to the charity want to be part of this thing. So it was sold out before we could ever even open it up. We didn't open it up to the public. It was already sold out, which we're very thankful for. But I did feel kind of bad. And I wanted at least to see if we could bring in 2, 3, 4, maybe new teams for people who did want to play. We didn't have enough carts, if that makes any sense. We have 23 teams. We need 25. They didn't have enough carts initially. 2 new carts have been added to the fleet of carts, Tommy, and we can add 2 teams of 4.
Technically 4, I guess that means, yes, in terms of the carts. Yeah.
Right.
2 groups.
Yeah, 2 groups
of
right.
4.
Yeah. So we're going to open it up today, right now. And this is where you take it away and tell everybody how to sign up if they want to. By the way, needless to say, if you don't do this within the next hour, you're probably not going to get a team. But if you are one of the people who wanted to play and you want to help out the Second Harvest of the Big Bend with us and play this Thursday, 8 a.m., Capital City Country Club for a good time, and it will be a good time and a great cause, you can sign up right now. Tell them, Tommy.
So it's in the chat right now if you're on YouTube TV. If not, we'll put it on social media before the 4:15-ish window when you leave the building. So make sure it goes on your social. There are 2 teams open. First come, first served. It is $650 for a group of 4. It is extremely well priced at $650 for a group of 4.
Because you get a lot.
500 group, you get everything. You get a little snacks in the morning before we start. Registration at 7:30, a little coffee, a couple of snacks before we hit the links. All your beer is taken care of for the day. There are cocktail stations throughout. There are sandwich stations throughout. And you're not done eating and enjoying libations because the post-round banquet is at Corner Pocket Bar and Grill with a feast of food and a keg of beer, all available for free. Well, as part of your entry fee for $6.50 for a group of 4. So if you want to join us, it is an action-packed, really fun day. You're going to enjoy it head to toe. Capital City is in phenomenal condition. The greens are lightning fast. Jeff can speak to that. I can as well. Join us Thursday morning, 8 a.m. You got to sign up the whole group of 4. We're not taking singles. So the link is now available on our YouTube TV and our Facebook chats. We will put it on our social media just after the show is done in about a half an hour's time.
Cool sponsors and activities. We've got the water station and the special martini shots there to start things off. The Jeff Cameron Show and Edwin Watts have joined forces. Terry's Pools, hole in one, number 3. Metro.
That is a sponsor every single year, Terry's has been. And they have the Terry's Twister cocktail, which is available at number 3.
Delicious. Metro Deli and Comcast for the beer and sandwiches on number 4. College Hunks on number 5. Cone Distributing on 6. Memorial on 7, FedEx on 8, Second Harvest, Fireball, and beer and sandwiches on number 9. Battles in and our friends from Gordo's, Mini Cubans and the Gordo's Smash.
That's number 10.
Good time.
That's how you make the turn.
Proctor Dealerships, hole in one sponsor, water station there on number 11. Number 12, Hancock Whitney, longest drive contest on number 13. Viet Vu, pimento cheese sandwiches and beer. Nice. That's really good. I didn't know we were doing that. My man Shannon Young on number 14. Miller's Tree Service on 15. Always appreciate them. Tried and true. Of course, Vernon Company as well.
They got Palomas. They're doing a Paloma station on 16.
Good job, boys. Good job. Closest to the pin there. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, beer and sandwiches on 17. And our friends at Tavello. Good job as well, Maurice. Good job. Tavello Brewing. Advance the T-Box. 5th driver. Turn your scorecards in here. At the end of the round. Good times. Good times. We are going to have a good time. And we're going to do a lot of good. And then we're going to have a benefit show a week from Wednesday.
Yes, that is correct. So for those of you who like to join us for the Christmas show and the giving show in the spring, that would be Wednesday, April 8th for the Second Harvest of the Big Bend. 14 counties, I believe it is at present, that the Big Bend, Second Harvest of the Big Bend services.
Yep.
Food insecurity being what it is, it's not a great time for them as an organization, so they need your help as much as possible.
Oh, Live Spectator, well done, sir. That makes me laugh. Just make sure John Elway isn't driving one of those golf carts. Oh, man. I'd forgotten about it till he made the joke. If you don't know, John Elway killed his best friend by driving recklessly in a golf cart, and the guy flew out and hit his head. That was recent. And he went there. I see more golf cart videos on, because once you click on one,
yeah, that's right.
They got you. They got you. I've got a golf cart video a day that comes into my Instagram account. I'm like, oh, watch these guys drive over a bunker and flip it or something asinine like that.
I think if you play golf long enough, you've either seen hijinks or been a part of some hijinks in a golf cart. It's law of averages, even if you don't mean to be.
Right. I'm a good golf cart driver, as you well know, but I've almost...
You've taken some risks.
Yeah.
We've
had some moments.
Donutted a couple of times inadvertently. Yeah. And then we've had a friend run over the 150 stick at Killarn.
Look, I saw it happen. I'm like, what is he doing?
Straight up. Like Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Stop! Just
kept going. I'm like, what's he doing? That's still, Larry. Oh, one of my favorite moments was watching you run over that 150 post. They must have come out there at the end of the day. Like, who runs over the 150 post? Oh, all-time good. All right, I got to gather. We'll come back and do some actual content in a moment. I will say this. Games for Less. The latest would be MLB The Show. It is there, and he's got also a slew of records. That record collection at Games for Less now, maybe the best in the city. It's awesome. He's not fooling around. George, if you're not careful, you're not selling games anymore. You're just selling records. It's just going to be a record store, but it's great. It's got the games and the records. Games for Less, Appalachia Parkway. Chef Cameron, 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
investigation that began Thursday afternoon following the discovery of a body. Sheriff Morris Young said the investigation started around 1 p.m. after a hiker discovered a body at the Iron Bridge boat landing. The victim has been identified as Joshua Grant. Grant's death was due to a non-disclosed medical condition, according to Sheriff Young, and no foul play is suspected. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement assisted in the investigation. About a week after Governor Brian Kemp signed legislation to suspend Georgia's gas tax for 60 days, the state's top legal authority is threatening to prosecute businesses that don't comply. Any gas station that does not deduct the gas tax from its prices will be investigated and potentially brought to court. Government officials suspended the gas tax as the war in Iran continues to drive up oil prices worldwide. This is Rachel Lene with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 81. Winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies again tonight, lows around 64. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 84. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 81.
Tired of calling 1-800-numbers just to get put on hold? Flush those numbers down the drain and call Terry West Plumbing and Septic Services, now offering Terry's Toilets, providing clean, reliable porta potties for any job site, special event, or backyard party. Real local people doing real work. No robots, no AI, no call centers. For all your septic services and portable restroom needs, one local call wipes away the competition. Call 850-510-8558. That's 510-8558. Or visit terrywestplumbing.com. When you call, we answer.
Real Talk 93.3 has your free tickets for Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live. Glow and Fire. Saturday and Sunday, April 11th and 12th at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. And here's how you can win a 4-pack of tickets. Show us your Hot Wheels. That's right. Text us a photo of your ride to 850-386-8255. We'll post all the photo submissions on the Real Talk 93.3 Facebook page, and then our listeners can vote for their favorite. So no matter what kind of car you drive, text us a photo of your Hot Wheels to 850-386-8255, and you'll win tickets to the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow and Fire at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center, April 11th and 12th. Visit tuckerciviccenter.com for tickets and info, and text us a photo of your Hot Wheels to 850-386-8255.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Tom, did you see that the Orlando Magic lost by 52 in a basketball game yesterday and gave up a 31-0 run?
No, sir.
I had a guess that you did not see that, but I thought I'd ask. They lost by 52. They gave up a 31-0 run. Buddy, let me tell you something. They got that problem. That sport's got problems. I mean, I'm seriously, they got big problems. You can't have people out here getting beat by 52 and giving up a 31-0 run. Yeah. You are not trying.
Yeah, well, you know what that is. Even if you've got a good basketball team and they're playing Orlando on a Tuesday and then they play a team that they care about on a Thursday, they're going to take Tuesday off as a fan. And then they're going to forget to tune in on Thursday. This is how you cultivate it, man. People not caring.
It's not good. That is not good. Watching that play out, man, you got to be kidding me. Also, I don't know if you saw this, but it was really good to see. The young lady that you mentioned last week that famously Gary Woodland.
Amy Bockerstedt.
Did you see her tweet?
She did.
Yeah, it was great. That was great.
To the best friend ever.
To the best,
you got this.
You got this.
Yeah.
At Gary Woodland, best friend ever with all the hearts. I went, oh, man, good for her.
And NBC did a good job of running that tape as Gary was marching through his coronation back 9 on a Sunday, which is good. He's an easy guy to root for, and you hear it from all different personality types that are affiliated with the PGA Tour, that he is beloved. They all say word or something as strong as that word. Not well-liked among his peers, respected player. No, they all say this is one of the great guys. This is one of those different type players. Kind of like Dom Smith, who hats off to him for what he did with the Atlanta Braves this weekend. Walk-off grand slam.
After his mom passed.
He is considered to be, and the Mets have had a lot of difficult personalities, but he came up with the Mets through the minor league ranks. And
nice.
he and Pete were on the same level as prospects. Could have gone one way or the other at the time. Seems silly now, but that's the way it was. Dom Smith is regarded as one of the great people in baseball. He's not a great player, but he had an awesome moment this weekend hitting a walk-off grand slam. I believe that was Saturday night against Kansas City for the Braves.
Yeah, it was really cool, too, to watch that.
It was 2-0 to start the ninth, and that rally was on from the word go. You could feel it in the building.
The Rays series was really weird with the Cardinals. So they blow a 7-0 lead, which we documented, and, all in one inning. They give up 8 in the bottom of the 7th. Then the next day, they're down 4-0 going to the 9th are the Rays. They score 4 in the 9th to tie it, take the lead in the 10th, and then blow it in the bottom of the 10th, but then win on Sunday 11-7. So that was a weird series. We had a great series other than the first game.
A lot of good pitching.
Back-to-back, extra inning games. Pirates escaped New York with at least one win, which is nice. The weather was decidedly different on the Saturday game, my friend.
It was indeed. And then yesterday, from my perspective, one of the worst sends by a third base coach in history. It just makes literally no sense to do what they did, which is send the would-be tying run home with nobody out. It's second and third, nobody out. You know what happens?
That's a panicky move.
We win the game we at minimum tie the game because you're either going to bring the infield in.
Yeah.
Or because the winning run's on second, you intentionally walk the bases loaded, so you're in at the corners playing for, actually, no, you got to bring the infield in no matter what you do. So a fly ball, and the ball, oh, man, I can't believe what the third base coach did. But it was great series, well played. A lot of good pitching between those two teams this weekend.
A lot of great pitching. If I never see – now, you're tired of seeing Brandon Lau, who continued to hit Mets pitching throughout the entirety of the week. If I never again in my life see the guy you brought over from the White Sox, that'd be good.
Oh, Luis Robert.
Screw that dude. Yeah. When did he suddenly become some great player? What are we doing here?
His rookie year, he finished he won the AL Rookie of the Year. I think he also finished second in the MVP one other season.
He hasn't done a damn thing since.
Not since.
And that was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And he was that way all weekend. He hit the home run in extras to beat us after we had taken the lead. And I'm like, so that's what you are. You're going to be the bane of my existence. You
only have to play 6 times a year.
I know. Well, this next one will be in Pittsburgh, where we know how that goes.
With his injury history, his real shot, he won't be even on the roster at that point.
Good. Get him out of there. He's the best player in baseball, apparently. You can't get him out. It's impossible. He fouls everything off, no matter how nasty it is. He makes great contact. There are 15 pitch at-bats. It's the worst.
I know Majinski owned him, but Soto had a good weekend. He did what he does.
Yeah, well, he's a good player. But Majinski did get him, so that's all I care about. And listen, the extra inning game we lost, how about the magic trick in the 10th inning where we got bases loaded with Soto up and got out of it?
Yeah.
That beautiful pitch jammed him on the hands, went back to the –
That's a hell of a play by the pitcher because
yes,
he's got to go barehanded. You go glove there, and it's safe and ball game's over. Yeah,
then we got the dribble back to Lau.
I mean, there was a lot of decent defense from both sides yesterday to get to extras. The Bichette play, well, to keep it tied, I should say.
Yeah.
The Bichette play from third was rangy. We usually don't – Vientos is there. I don't normally see that range. Hell, even Semien at second. I see why he's won Gold Gloves. That dude gets the other side of the bag quicker than Lindor does.
If you'd like, sir, you can cue it up because it is that time of year, and this will be our first that we get to do, excitedly, I might say. Well, our first real one in season. It's time for probables.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Right out the gates, I get a good one. Twins Royals, Simeon Woods Richardson, and Chris Bubik.
Nobel laureate Simeon Woods Richardson.
Nicely done. And I always like saying Chris Bubik. That'd be the Royals home opener there. Rangers Orioles, Jack Leiter going for the Rangers. Orioles will throw Chris Bassett. Nationals and the Phillies, Foster Griffin. Oh, Foster. Erudite Foster Griffin. cheats at golf, does Foster Griffin.
I see Forrest Whitaker, even though he's not Foster, and I see Peter Griffin. It's a weird image.
Foster Griffin goes for the Nationals. The Phillies will throw Tawan Walker. Still pitching. White Sox, Marlins. Marlins are undefeated. That's because they got to play 3 games against the Rockies. White Sox haven't won a game because they're the White Sox. Did the folks in Major League Baseball decide they feel very, 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 very sorry for the Florida Marlins? And so they said, here are your first 6 games. You get the Rockies and the White Sox at home. Doing favors out here. Davis Martin going to start for the White Sox. The Marlins will throw Chris Paddock. Pirates, Reds. Suck it, Reds. Braxton Ashcraft goes for the Buccos, who are also on the road still. Endless road trip to start the year.
Hey, I hear they have a good casino/sportsbook in Cincinnati.
Come on, Braxton. Tom saw Braxton Ashcraft pitch.
I did.
Yeah, he pitched well.
I saw him in his bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
It was impressive.
Chase Burns goes for the Reds. Rockies, Blue Jays, aforementioned. Rockies didn't win a game against the Marlins.
We got to call Chase Burns the firefighter.
I like it. Tamayuki Sugarao going for the Rockies. And no, I'm not Japanese. Cody Ponce going for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays haven't lost a game this year. They did play in the World Series last year, so that's not all that surprising. Rockies, Blue Jays. A's, Braves. Jacob Lopez going tonight for the A's. They haven't won a game yet. 0-3 to start the year. Braves will throw Bryce Elder. Braves are 2-1. Rays, Brewers, Nick Martinez, Kyle Harrison. That game's in Milwaukee. We got the Angels and the Cubs, Ryan Johnson and Edward Cabrera. Mets, Cardinals. Come on, Mets. Let's go, Mets.
That was good.
Clay Holmes, former Pirate, goes for the Mets tonight. Kyle Leahy going for the Cardinals. Boo, Cardinals. There you go. I'll be pulling for your Mets. They're at Busch Stadium. The alleged best fans in baseball who suck. Red Sox, Astros. That'd be Rangers, Suarez, and Lance McCullers Jr. Yankees, Mariners. Ryan Weathers, Luis Castillo. Good series, 9:40. Your boy will be listening to that one in bed, falling in and out of sleep.
Hey, I'll be doing a lot of that. I looked at our schedule. All of our West Coast trips are between now and the middle of June. We've got 5 of them.
Wow.
A lot of West Coast games coming up.
Giants, Padres. Speaking of West Coast, Landon Raup going for the Giants. They're 0-3. You're on deck, Tom. Walker Buehler going for the Padres.
Oh, Trapper Keeper.
There it is.
He's back.
You know who else is back? Parker Messick, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
Starting tonight for Cleveland. Come on, Parker. His first start of the year. Dodgers are undefeated. That sucks. Roki Sasaki going for the Dodgers. That's how his family likes you to say it. Tigers, D-backs. Always sounds dirty. D-backs. Tigers, Justin Verlander, 105 years old. Justin Verlander gets the pill tonight. Michael Soraka will go for the D-backs. They haven't won a game yet.
He'll be throwing the pill on the bocce board pretty soon.
And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump.
Don't forget, you got to scat at some point.
Yeah. I got it in just in time. Florida State's Cam Myles, thanks but no thanks, decided he is up out of here. Cam Myles planning to enter the transfer portal is the way the story reads. Myles played in 25 games this year, averaged 5.4 points per game, 1.7 assists. He was Luke Lauk's second commitment out of high school, just after Thomas Passong. Myles is an Orlando product, came to Florida State from IMG, and he is out of here. Coach Laux, he was an NBA coach, Myles told Warchant when he committed. Player development, all the good guards he coached. He was a guard himself, so I thought it'd be taken care of from the guard spot. I know I'll be developed. My game will get developed well. I don't think Myles feels that way any longer. He's decided he'd like to leave.
Perhaps he still might, but not at the price point we're willing to offer up.
Yes.
We need to go get some vets in here.
Yeah. So, more transfer portal entries are expected for Florida State. Lauk's trying to reshape the roster for year 2. We know that, so we'll see. I'm kind of curious. Again, I'm really eagerly going to watch that because it's the difference between whether or not Florida State makes a deep run next year, finishes in the top 7 or so in the ACC, makes the NCAA tournament. They got all that talent coming in from the high school ranks, really elite players, a top 10 class based on that, but you're going to have to surround them all with a lot of talent, veteran, big body kids, front court size. They got beat up on the glass all year long. This will be a big run here that Luke and his staff are trying to put together. This is an important time.
Check out the site today after we're done here in a moment, but there's a great conversation that Luke Laux has with Jacob Ridenauer, and he's speaking specifically on how Thomas Basong is a priority for them. Negotiations are ongoing. He's willing to say all this stuff out loud, which I find it so refreshing. But that his messaging to Basong is very simple. You can go make more money somewhere else right here, right now. You're going to play a lot here, though, and you're going to get developed here. And so what is more valuable to you right now? A couple extra dollars or getting more playing time? And that's the pitch along with whatever monetary pitch they're making. So that's the priority for Florida State, the portal retention-wise, is Basong.
I like it. I hope it happens, man. I've been nervous about that. Let's hope he comes back. Good work out of you, sir. My thanks to everybody. Good to be back in studio. Good to be back getting the week started just right. Reminder, Tom posted it in the feed there, but you can sign up one of 2 teams. 2 teams available right now. Probably won't be by this time tomorrow.
Check Jeff's Twitter.
Check my Twitter. Tom's going to post on my Twitter right now. Goodbye, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow. Until then, peace.